Dramatis Personae and Costumes for The Bluebird by Maurice MAETERLINCK. Translated by Alexander TEIXEIRA de MATTOS. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org.
Tyltyl, read by KHand.
Wears the dress of Hop-o'-my-Thumb in Perrault's Tales, scarlet knickerbockers, pale blue jacket, white stockings, tan shoes.
Mytil, read by Beth Thomas.
Is dressed like Gretel or Little Red Riding Hood.
Light, read by Amanda Friday.
The moon-colored dress in Perrault's Poudon, that is to say, pale gold shot with silver, shimmering gauzes, forming a sort of rays, etc. Neo-Grecian or Anglo-Grecian, a la Walter Crane, or even more or less Empire style, a high waist, bare arms, etc. Headdress, a sort of diadem or even a light crown. The fairy Berilyuna and Neighbour Berlingot.
Read by ThoddHWLight.
The traditional dress of the poor women in fairy tales. If desired, the transformation of the fairy into a princess in Act 1 may be omitted.
Tyltyl, read by Arnaldo Machado.
Mytil, read by Rebecca Braunert-PlunkettThe.
Gaffer-Til and Granny-Til.
Read by Ron Altman.
The traditional costume of the German woodcutters and peasants in Grimm's tales. Tyltyl's brothers and sisters.
Read by Lydia.
April Walters.
Megan Clavie-Parker.
Trisha G.
Thomas Peter.
And MaryAnn. Different forms of the Hop-o'-my-Thumb costume.
Time, read by Jason Mills.
Traditional dress of Time. A wide black or dark blue cloak, a streaming white beard, scythe, and hourglass.
Night, read by Hawaii.
Ample black garments, covered with mysterious stars and shot with reddish-brown reflections, veils, dark poppies, etc.
The Little Girl, read by Amanda Friday.
Bright fair hair, a long white frock.
The Dog, read by Ron Altman.
Red dress coat, white breeches, top boots, a shiny hat. The costume suggests that of John Bull.
The Cat, read by Todd.
The costume of Puss in Boots, powdered wig, three-cornered hat, violet or sky blue coat, dress sword, etc. Note: the heads of the dog and the cat should be only discreetly animalized.
Luxury, read by Arnaldo Machado.
Before the transformation, wide, heavy mantles in red and yellow brocade, enormous fat jewels, etc. After the transformation, chocolate or coffee-colored tights, giving the impression of unadorned dancing jacks.
The Happiness, read by Savannah Allday.
Dresses of various colors, or, if preferred, costumes of peasants, shepherds, woodcutters, and so on, but idealized and interpreted fairy fashion. The Great Joys.
The Joy of Being Just, read by Valerie Becker.
The Joy of Understanding, by Ethel Booth.
The Joy of Seeing What is Beautiful, read by Little T.
As stated in the text, shimmering dresses in soft and subtle shades, rose awakening, water's smile, amber dew, blue of dawn, etc.
The Joy of Maternal Love, read by Rebecca Braunert-PlunkettThe.
Dress very similar to the dress worn by Light, that is to say, supple and almost transparent veils, as of a Greek statue, and, in so far as possible, white. Pearls, and other stones as rich and numerous as may be desired, provided they do not break the pure and candid harmony of the whole.
Bread, read by Tovarisch.
A rich pasha's dress, an ample crimson silk or velvet gown, a huge turban, a scimitar, an enormous stomach, red and puffed out cheeks.
Sugar by Mary Kay.
A silk gown, cut like that of a eunuch in a seraglio, half blue and half white, to suggest the paper wrapper of a sugar loaf. Eunuch's headdress.
Fire, read by Chuck Williamson.
Red tights, a vermilion cloak, with changing reflections, lined with gold, an aigrette of iridescent flames.
Water, read by Sarah Swart.
A pale blue or bluish-green dress, with transparent reflections and effects of rippling or trickling gauze, Neo-Grecian or Anglo-Grecian style, but fuller and more voluminous than that of light. Headdress of aquatic flowers and seaweed.
Milk, read by Ethel Bus.
The animals.
The dog, read by Ron Altman.
The cat, read by Todd.
The wolf, read by Dylan McFarlane.
The pig, read by Miriam Esther Goldman.
The cow, read by Lydia.
The bull, read by Algie Pug.
The sheep, read by Abai.
The cock, read by David Purdy.
The rabbit, read by Sarah Swart.
The horse, read by MaryAnn.
The ass, read by Mark Chulsky.
Popular or peasant costumes. The trees.
The oak, read by Arnaldo Machado.
Elm, read by Phil Chenover.
The lime tree, read by Elizabeth Klatt.
The Fir-Tree, read by Asher Garavi.
The cypress, read by Amy Graymore.
The beech, read by Phil Chenover.
The Chestnut-Tree, read by Mark Chulsky.
The ivy, read by April Walters.
The poplar, read by Frances Brown.
The willow by Ethel Bus.
Dresses of different shades of green, or the color of the trunks of trees, distinctive attributes in the shape of leaves or branches by which they can be recognized. The blue children.
Read by Beth Thomas.
Read by Rosalind Carlyle.
Read by MaryAnn.
Read by Sarah Jennings.
Read by Trisha G.
Read by Abby.
Read by Phil Chenover.
Read by Rachel.
Read by Elizabeth Klatt.
Read by April Walters.
Read by Abai.
Read by Thomas Peter.
Read by Lydia.
Read by Safi.
Read by Sarah Swart.
And stage directions read by MaryAnn Spiegel and ShiNeko. End of Dramatis Personae and Costumes. Act 1. The Woodcutter's Cottage of The Bluebird by Maurice MAETERLINCK, translated by Alexander Teixeira de Mattos. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The stage represents the interior of a woodcutter's cottage, simple and rustic in appearance, but in no way poverty-stricken. A recessed fireplace containing the dying embers of a wood fire. Kitchen utensils, a cupboard, a bread pan, a grandfather's clock, a spinning wheel, a water tap, etc. On a table, a lighted lamp. At the foot of the cupboard on either side, a dog and a cat lie sleeping, rolled up, each with his nose in his tail. Between them stands a large blue and white sugar loaf. On the wall hangs a round cage containing a turtle dove. At the back, 2 windows, with closed inside shutters. Under one of the windows, a stool. On the left is the front door, with a big latch to it. On the right, another door. A ladder leads up to a loft. On the right also are 2 little children's cots, at the head of which are 2 chains, with clothes carefully folded on them. When the curtain rises, Tyltyl and Mytil are sound asleep in their cots. Mummy Till tucks them in, leans over them, watches them for a moment as they sleep, and beckons to Daddy Tyl, who thrusts his head through the half-open door. Mummy Tyl lays a finger on her lips, to impose silence upon him, and then goes out to the right on tiptoe, after first putting out the lamp. The scene remains in darkness for a moment, then a light gradually increasing in intensity filters in through the shutters. The lamp on the table lights again of itself, but the light is of a different color than when Mommy Tyl extinguished it. The two children appear to wake and sit up in bed.
Mytil?
Tyltyl?
Are you asleep?
Are you?
No. How can I be asleep when I'm talking to you?
Say, is this Christmas Day?
Not yet. Not till tomorrow. But Father Christmas won't bring us anything this year.
Why not?
I heard Mummy say that she couldn't go to town to tell him, but he will come next year.
Is next year far off?
A good long while, but he will come to the rich children tonight.
Really?
Hello. Mummy's forgotten to put out the lamp. I've an idea.
What?
Let's get up.
But we mustn't.
Why, there's no one about. Do you see the shutters?
Oh, how bright they are.
It's the lights of the party.
What party?
The rich children opposite. It's the Christmas tree. Let's open the shutters.
Can we?
Of course. There's no one to stop us. Do you hear the music? Let us get up.
The two children get up, run to one of the windows, climb on the stool, and throw back the shutters. A bright light fills the room, and the children look out greedily.
We can see everything.
Mytil, who can hardly find room on the stool.
I can't.
It's snowing. There's 2 carriages with 6 horses each.
There are 12 little boys getting out.
How silly you are. They're little girls.
They've got knickerbockers.
What do you know? Don't push so.
I never touched you.
Tyltyl, who is taking up the whole stool.
You're taking up all the room.
What? I have no room at all.
Do be quiet. I see the tree.
What tree?
Why, the Christmas tree. You're looking at the wall.
I'm looking at the wall because I've got no room.
Tyltyl, giving her a miserly little place on the stool.
There. Will that do? Now you're better off than I. I say, what lots and lots of lights.
What are those people doing who are making such a noise?
They're the musicians.
Are they angry?
No, but it's hard work.
Another carriage with white horses.
Be quiet and look.
What are those gold things there hanging from the branches?
Why, toys to be sure. Swords, guns, soldiers, cannons.
And dolls. Say, are there any dolls?
Dolls? That's too silly. There's no fun in dolls.
And what's that all round the table?
Cakes and fruit and tarts.
Oh, I had some once when I was little.
So did I. It's nicer than bread, but they don't give you enough.
They've got plenty over there. The whole table's full. Are they going to eat them?
Of course. What else would they do with them?
Why don't they eat them at once?
Because they're not hungry.
Mytil, stupefied with astonishment.
Not hungry? Why not?
Well, they eat whenever they want to.
Incredulously.
Every day?
They say so.
Will they eat them all? Will they give any away?
To whom?
To us.
They don't know us.
Suppose we ask them.
We mustn't.
Why not?
Because it's not right.
Clapping her hands.
Oh, how pretty they are.
Rapturously.
And how they're laughing and laughing.
And the little ones dancing.
Yes, yes, let's dance too.
They stamp their feet for joy on the stool.
Oh, what fun.
They're getting the cakes. They can touch them. They're eating, they're eating, they're eating.
The tiny ones too. They've got 2, 3, 4 apiece.
Drunk with delight.
Oh, how lovely. Oh, how lovely, how lovely.
Counting imaginary cakes.
I've got 12.
And I 4 times 12. But I'll give you some.
A knock at the door of the cottage. Tyltyl suddenly quieted and frightened.
What's that?
Scared.
It's Daddy!
As they hesitate before opening the door, the big latch is seen to rise of itself, with a grating noise. The door half opens to admit a little old woman dressed in green with a red hood on her head. She is humpbacked and lame and near-sighted. Her nose and chin meet, and she walks bent on a stick. She is obviously a fairy.
Have you the grass here that sings? Or the bird that is blue?
We have some grass, but it can't sing.
Tyltyl has a bird.
But I can't give it away.
Why not?
Because it's mine.
That's a reason, no doubt. Where is the bird?
Pointing to the cage.
In the cage.
The fairy, putting on her glasses to examine the bird.
I don't want it. It's not blue enough. You will have to go and find me the one I want.
But I don't know where it is.
No more do I. That's why you must look for it. I can do without the grass that sings at a pinch, but I must absolutely have the blue bird. It is for my little girl, who is very ill.
What's the matter with her?
We don't quite know. She wants to be happy.
Really?
Do you know who I am?
You're rather like our neighbor, Madame Berlingot.
The fairy growing suddenly angry.
Not a bit. There's not the least likeness. This is intolerable. I am Fairy Berilyuna.
Oh, very well.
You have to start at once.
Are you coming with us?
I can't, because I put on the soup this morning, and it always boils over if I leave it for more than an hour.
Pointing successively to the ceiling, the chimney, and the window.
Will you go out this way? Or that way? Or that way?
Tyltyl, pointing timidly to the door.
I would rather go out that way.
The fairy, growing suddenly angry again.
That's quite impossible, and it's a shocking habit.
Pointing to the window.
We'll go out this way. Well, what are you waiting for? Get dressed at once.
The children do as they are told and dress quickly.
I'll help Mytil.
We have no shoes.
That doesn't matter. I will give you a little magic hat. Where are your father and mother?
Tyltyl, pointing to the door on the right.
They're asleep in there.
And your grandpapa and grandmama?
They're dead.
And your little brothers and sisters? Have you any?
Oh, yes, 3 little brothers.
And 4 little sisters.
Where are they?
They are dead too.
Would you like to see them again?
Oh, yes, at once. Show them to us.
I haven't got them in my pocket, but this is very lucky. You will see them when you go through the land of memory. It's on the way to the Bluebird, just on the left, past the 3rd turning. What were you doing when I knocked?
We were playing at eating cakes.
Have you any cakes? Where are they?
In the house of the rich children. Come and look. It's so lovely.
He drags the fairy to the window. The fairy at the window.
But it's the others who are eating them.
Yes, but we can see them eat.
Aren't you cross with them?
What for?
For eating all the cakes. I think it's very wrong of them not to give you some.
Not at all. They're rich. I say, isn't it beautiful over there?
It's no more beautiful there than here.
Ugh, it's darker here and smaller, and there are no cakes.
It's exactly the same, Only you can't see.
Yes, I can. And I have very good eyes. I can see the time on the church clock, and Daddy can't.
The fairy, suddenly angry.
I tell you that you can't see. How do you see me? What do I look like?
An awkward silence from Tyltyl.
Well, answer me, will you? I want to know if you can see. Am I pretty or ugly?
The silence grows more and more uncomfortable.
Won't you answer? Am I young or old? Are my cheeks pink or yellow? Perhaps you'll say I have a hump.
Tyltyl, in a conciliatory tone.
No, it's not a big one.
Oh, yes. To look at you, anyone would think it enormous. Have I a hook nose, and have I lost one of my eyes?
Oh, no, I don't say that. Who put it out?
The fairy, growing more and more irritated.
But it's not out, you wretched, impudent boy. It's much finer than the other. It's bigger and brighter and blue as the sky. And my hair, do you see that? It's fair as the corn in the fields. It's like virgin gold. And I've such heaps and heaps of it that it weighs my head down. It escapes on every side.
She holds out 2 lean wisps of grey hair.
Do you see it on my hands?
Yes, I see a little.
The fairy indignantly.
A little? Sheaves, armfuls, clusters, waves of gold. I know there are people who say that they don't see any. But you're not one of those wicked blind people, I should hope.
Oh, no, I can see all that isn't hidden.
But you ought to see the rest with as little doubt. Human beings are very odd. Since the death of the fairies, they see nothing at all, and they never suspect it. Luckily, I always carry with me all that is wanted to give new light to dimmed eyes. What am I taking out of my bag?
Oh, what a dear little green hat. What's that shining in the cockade?
That's the big diamond that makes people see.
Really?
Yes. When you've got the hat on your head, you turn the diamond a little, from right to left. For instance, like this. Do you see? Then it presses a bump which nobody knows of, and which opens your eyes.
Doesn't it hurt?
On the contrary, it's enchanted. You at once see even the inside of things, the soul of bread, of wine, of pepper, for instance.
Can you see the soul of sugar too?
Suddenly cross.
Of course you can. I hate unnecessary questions. The soul of sugar is no more interesting than the soul of pepper. There. I give you all I have to help you in your search for the bluebird. I know that the flying carpet or the ring which makes its wearer invisible would be more useful to you, but I have lost the key of the cupboard in which I locked them. Oh, I was almost forgetting.
Pointing to the diamond.
When you hold it like this, do you see? One little turn more, and you behold the past. Another little turn, and you behold the future. It's curious and practical, and it's quite noiseless.
Daddy will take it from me.
He won't see it. No one can see it as long as it's on your head. Will you try it?
She puts the little green hat on Tyltyl's head.
Now turn the diamond. One turn, and then...
Tyltyl has no sooner turned the diamond than a sudden and wonderful change comes over everything. The old fairy alters then and there into a princess of marvellous beauty. The flints of which the cottage walls are built light up, turn blue as sapphires, become transparent, and gleam and sparkle like the most precious stones. The humble furniture takes life and becomes resplendent. The deal table assumes as grave and noble an air as a table made of marble. The face of the clock winks its eye and smiles genially, while the door that contains the pendulum opens and releases the hours, which, holding one another by the hand and laughing merrily, begin to dance to the sound of delicious music. Tyltyl, displaying a legitimate bewilderment and pointing to the hours.
Who are all those pretty ladies?
Don't be afraid. They are the hours of your life, and they are glad to be free and visible for a moment.
And why are the walls so bright? Are they made of sugar or of precious stones?
All stones are alike. All stones are precious. But man sees only a few of them.
While they are speaking, the scene of enchantment continues and is completed. The souls of the quatern loaves, in the form of little men in crust-coloured tights, flurried and all powdered with flour, scramble out of the bread-pan and frisk round the table, where they are caught up by Fire, who, springing from the hearth in yellow and vermilion tights, rise with laughter as he chases the loaves.
Who are those ugly little men?
Oh, they're nothing. They are merely the souls of the quatern loaves, who are taking advantage of the rain of truth to leave the pan in which they were too tightly packed.
And the big red fellow with the nasty smell.
Hush! Don't speak too loud. That's Fire. He's dangerous.
This dialogue does not interrupt the enchantment. The dog and cat, lying rolled up at the foot of the cupboard, utter a loud and simultaneous cry and disappear down a trap, and in their places rise two persons, one of whom has the face of a bulldog, the other that of a tomcat. Forthwith, the little man with the bulldog face, whom we will henceforth call the dog, rushes upon Tyltyl, kisses him violently, and overwhelms him with noisy and impetuous caresses, while the little man with the face of a tomcat, whom we will simply call the cat, combs his hair, washes his hands, and strokes his whiskers, before going up to Mytil. The dog, yelling, jumping about, knocking up against everything, unbearable.
My little god, good morning, my dear little god. At last we can talk. I had so much to tell you. Bark and wag my tail as I might, you never understood. But now, good morning, I love you. Shall I do some of my tricks? Shall I beg? Would you like to see me walk on my front paws or dance on my hind legs?
Tyltyl, to the fairy.
Who is this gentleman with the dog's head?
Don't you see? It's the soul of Tyltyl, whom you have set free.
The cat, going up to Mytil, and putting out his hand to her with much ceremony and circumspection.
Good morning, miss. How well you look this morning.
Good morning, sir.
To the fairy.
Who is it?
Why, don't you see? It's the soul of Tyltyl offering you his hand. Kiss him.
The dog, hustling the cat.
Me too. I've kissed the little god. I've kissed the little girl. I've kissed everybody. Oh, great. What fun we shall have. I'm going to frighten Tyltyl. Bow wow wow.
Sir, I don't know you.
The fairy, threatening the dog with her stick.
Keep still, will you? Or else you'll go back into silence until the end of time.
Meanwhile, the enchantment has pursued its course. The spinning wheel has begun to turn madly in its corner and to spin brilliant rays of light. The tap, in another corner, begins to sing in a very high voice, and, turning into a luminous fountain, floods the sink with sheets of pearl and emeralds, through which darts the soul of water, like a young girl, streaming, dishevelled, and tearful, who immediately begins to fight with fire.
And who is that wet lady?
Don't be afraid. It's water, just come from the tap.
The milk jug upsets, falls from the table, and smashes on the floor, and from the spilt milk there rises a tall, white, bashful figure who seems to be afraid of everything.
And the frightened lady in her nightgown?
That's Milk. She has broken her jug.
The sugar loaf, at the foot of the cupboard, grows taller and wider and splits its paper wrapper, whence issues a mawkish and hypocritical being, dressed in a long coat, half blue and half white, who goes up to Mytil with a sanctimonious smile. Mytil, greatly alarmed.
What does he want?
Why, he is the soul of sugar.
Reassured.
Has he any barley sugar?
His pockets are full of it, and each of his fingers is a sugar stick.
The lamp falls from the table, and, at the same moment, its flame springs up again and turns into a luminous maid of incomparable beauty. She is dressed in long, transparent, and dazzling veils, and stands motionless in a sort of ecstasy.
It's the Queen!
It's the Blessed Virgin.
No, my children, it's Light.
Meanwhile, the saucepans on the shelves spin round like tops. The linen press throws open its folding doors and unrolls a magnificent display of moon-colored and sun-colored stuffs, with which mingles a no less splendid array of rags and tatters that come down the ladder from the loft. But suddenly 3 loud knocks are heard on the door at the right. Tyltyl, alarmed.
That's Daddy. He's heard us.
Turn the diamond from left to right.
Tyltyl turns the diamond quickly.
Not so quick. Heavens, it's too late. You turned it too briskly. They will not have time to resume their places, and we shall have a lot of annoyance.
The fairy becomes an old woman again. The walls of the cottage lose their splendor. The hours go back into the clock. The spinning wheel stops, etc. But in the general hurry and confusion, while Fire runs madly round the room, looking for the chimney, one of the loaves of bread, who has been unable to squeeze into the pan, bursts into sobs and utters roars of fright.
What's the matter?
Bread, in tears.
There is no room in the pan.
The fairy, stooping over the pan.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Pushing the other loaves, which have resumed their original places.
Come, quick, make room there.
The knocking at the door is renewed. Bread, utterly scared, vainly struggling to enter the pan.
I can't get in. He'll eat me first.
The dog, frisking round Tyltyl.
My little god, I am still here. I can still talk. I can still kiss you. Once more, once more, once more.
What? You two? Are you there still?
What luck! I was too late to return to silence. The trap closed too quickly.
So did mine. What is going to happen? Is there any danger?
Well, I'm bound to tell you the truth. All those who accompany the 2 children will die at the end of the journey.
The cat, to the dog.
Come, let us get back into the trap.
No, no, I won't. I want to go with the little god. I want to talk to him all the time.
Idiot.
More knocking at the door. Bread, shedding bitter tears.
I don't want to die at the end of the journey. I want to get back at once into my pan.
Fire, who has done nothing but run madly round the room, hissing with anguish.
I can't find my chimney.
Water, vainly trying to get into the tap.
I can't get into the tap.
Sugar, hovering round his paper wrapper.
I've burst my packing paper.
Milk, lymphatically and bashfully.
Somebody's broken my little jug.
Goodness me, what fools they are. Fools and cowards, too. So you would rather go on living in your ugly boxes, in your traps and taps, than accompany the children in search of the bird?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Now,
at once.
My pan.
My chimney.
My trap.
The fairy, to Light, who is dreamily gazing at the wreckage of her lamp.
And you, Light, what do you say?
I will go with the children.
The dog, yelling with delight.
I too, I too.
That's right. Besides, it's too late to go back. You have no choice now. You must all start with us. But you, Fire, don't come near anybody. You, Dog, don't tease the cat. And you, Water, hold yourself up and try not to run all over the place.
A violent knocking is heard again at the door on the right. Tyltyl, listening.
There's Daddy again. He's getting up this time. I can hear him walking.
Let us go out by the window. You shall all come to my house, where I will dress the animals and the things properly.
To Bread.
You, Bread, take the cage in which to put the bluebird. It will be in your charge. Quick, quick! Let us waste no time.
The window suddenly lengthens downward, like a door. They all go out, after which the window resumes its primitive shape and closes quite innocently. The room has become dark again, and the two cots are steeped in shadow. The door on the right opens ajar, and in the aperture appear the heads of Daddy and Mummy Till.
It was nothing. It's the cricket chirping.
Can you see them?
I can. They're sleeping quite quietly.
I can hear their breathing.
The door closes again. Curtain. End of Act 1. Act 2, Scene 1, At the Fairies, of The Bluebird, by Maurice MAETERLINCK, translated by Alexander TEIXEIRA de MATTOS. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. A magnificent entrance hall in the palace of the fairy Berilyuna. Columns of gleaming marble with gold and silver capitals, staircases, porticos, balustrades, etc. Enter from the back, on the right, sumptuously clad, the Cat, Sugar, and Fire. They come from a room which emits rays of light. It is the fairy's wardrobe. The Cat has donned the classic costume of Puss in Boots. Sugar, a silk dress, half white and half pale blue, and Fire wears a number of many-colored aigrettes and a long vermilion mantle lined with gold. They cross the whole length of the hall to the front of the stage, where Cat draws them up under a portico on the right.
This way. I know every inch of this palace. It was left to the fairy Berilyuna by Bluebeard. Let us make the most of our last minute of liberty, while the children and Light pay their visit to the fairy's little daughter. I have brought you here in order to discuss the position in which we are placed. Are we all here?
I see the dog coming out of the fairy's wardrobe.
What on earth has he got on?
He has put on the livery of one of the footmen of Cinderella's coach. It was just the thing for him. He has the soul of a flunkey. But let us hide behind the balustrade. It's strange how I mistrust him. He had better not hear what I have to say to you.
It is too late. He has discovered us. Look, here is Water also coming out of the wardrobe. Goodness me, how fine she is.
The dog and Water join the first group. The dog, frisking about.
There, there, aren't we fine? Just look at these laces and this embroidery. It's real gold and no mistake.
The Cat, to Water.
Is that Catskin's color of time dress? I seem to recognize it.
Yes, it's the one that suited me best.
Between his teeth.
She's not brought her umbrella.
What's that?
Nothing, nothing.
I thought you might be speaking of a great red I saw the other day.
Come, don't let us quarrel. We have more important things to do. We are only waiting for Bread. Where is he?
He was making an endless fuss about choosing his dress.
Worthwhile, isn't it? For a fellow who looks a fool and carries an enormous stomach.
At last he decided in favor of a Turkish robe, adorned with gems, a scimitar, and a turban.
There he is. He has put on Bluebeard's finest dress.
Enter Bread, in the costume described above. The silk robe is crossed tightly over his huge stomach. In one hand he holds the hilt of a scimitar, passed through his sash, and in the other the cage intended for the bluebird. Bread, waddling conceitedly.
Well, what do you think of this?
The dog frisking round the loaf.
How nice he looks! What a fool he looks! How nice he looks! How nice he looks!
To the loaf.
Are the children dressed?
Yes, Master Tyltyl has put on Hop-o'-my-Thumb's blue jacket and red breeches, and Miss Mytil has Gretel's frock and Cinderella's slippers. But the great thing was the dressing of Light.
Why?
The fairy thought her so lovely that she did not want to dress her at all. Thereupon I protested, in the name of our dignity as essential and eminently respectable elements, and I ended by declaring that under those conditions I should refuse to be seen with her.
They ought to have bought her a lampshade.
And what answer did the fairy make?
She hit me with her stick on my head and stomach.
And then?
I allowed myself to be convinced, but at the last moment Light decided on the moonbeam dress at the bottom of the chest with Catskin's treasures.
Come, stop chattering. Time presses. Our future is at stake. You have heard, the fairy has just said so, that the end of this journey will, at the same time, mark the end of our lives. It is our business, therefore, to prolong it as much as possible, and by every possible means. But there is another thing. We must think of the fate of our race, and the destiny of our children.
Hear, hear. The cat is right.
Listen to me. All of us here present, animals, things, and elements, possess a soul which man does not yet know. That is why we retain a remnant of independence. But if he finds the blue bird, he will know all, he will see all, and we shall be completely at his mercy. This is what I have just learned from my old friend Night, who is also the guardian of the mysteries of life. It is to our interest, therefore, at all costs, to prevent the finding of that bird, even if we have to go so far as to endanger the lives of the children themselves.
Indignantly.
What's the fellow saying? Just say that again, will you, to see if I heard right?
Order, order. It's not your turn to speak. I'm in the chair at this meeting.
Who made you chairman?
Water to Fire.
Hold your tongue. What are you interfering with?
I shall interfere where I choose, and I want none of your remarks.
Conciliatorily.
Excuse me. Do not let us quarrel. This is a serious moment. We must, above all things, decide what measures to adopt.
I quite agree with Sugar and the cat.
This is ridiculous. There is man, and that's all. We have to obey him and do as he tells us. That is the one and only fact. I recognize no one but him. Hurrah for man! Man forever! In life or death, all for man. Man is God.
I quite agree with the dog.
The cat to the dog.
But at least give your reasons.
There are no reasons. I love man, and that's enough. If you do anything against him, I will throttle you first, and I will go and tell him everything.
Intervening sweetly.
Excuse me. Let us not embitter the discussion. From a certain point of view, you are both of you right. There is something to be said on both sides.
I quite agree with Sugar.
Are we not, all of us? Water, fire, you yourselves, bread, and the dog, the victims of a nameless tyranny? Do you remember the time when, before the coming of the despot, we wandered at liberty upon the face of the earth? Fire and water were the sole masters of the world, and see what they have come to. As for us puny descendants of the great wild animals, look out! Pretend to be doing nothing. I see the fairy and Light coming. Light has taken sides with man. She is our worst enemy. Here they are.
Enter, on the right, the fairy in the shape of an old woman, and Light, followed by Tyltyl and Mytil.
Well, what is it? What are you doing in that corner? You look like conspirators. It is time to start. I have decided that Light shall be your leader. You will obey her as you would me, and I am giving her my wand. The children will pay a visit to their late grandparents this evening. You will remain behind. That is more discreet. They will spend the evening in the bosom of their dead family. Meanwhile, you will be getting ready all that is wanted for tomorrow's journey, which will be a long one. Come up. Be off, and everyone to his post.
Hypocritically.
That is just what I was saying to them, madam. I was encouraging them to do their duty bravely and conscientiously. Unfortunately, the dog, who kept on interrupting me—
What's that? Just wait a bit,
He is about to leap upon the cat, but Tyltyl, foreseeing his intention, stops with a threatening gesture.
Down, Tilo. Take care, and if I ever catch you again—
My little god, you don't know. It was he who—
Threatening him.
Be quiet.
Come, that will do. Let Bread hand the cage for this evening to Tyltyl. It is just possible that the bluebird may be hidden in the past, at the grandparents'. In any case, it is a chance which we must not neglect. Well, Bread, the cage.
Solemnly.
One moment, if you please, Mrs. Fairy.
Like an orator making a speech.
I call upon all of you to bear witness that this silver cage, which was entrusted to my care by—
The fairy interrupting him.
Enough! No speeches. We will go out this way, and the children that.
Rather anxiously.
Are we to go all alone?
I feel hungry.
I too.
To Bread.
Open your Turkish robe and give them a slice of your good stomach.
Bread opens his robe, draws his scimitar, and cuts 2 slices out of his stomach and hands them to the children. Sugar, approaching the children.
Allow me at the same time to offer you a few sugar sticks.
He breaks off the 5 fingers of his left hand, one by one, and presents them to the children.
What is he doing? He is breaking all his fingers.
Engagingly.
Taste them. They are capital. They're made of real barley sugar.
Tasting one of the fingers.
Oh, how good they are. Have you many of them?
Modestly.
Yes, as many as I want.
Does that hurt you much when you break them off?
Not at all. On the contrary, it's a great advantage. They grow again at once, and so I always have new, clean fingers.
Come, children, don't eat too much sugar. Don't forget that you are to have supper presently with your grandpapa and grandmamma.
Are they here?
You shall see them at once.
How can we see them when they are dead?
How can they be dead when they live in your memory? Men do not know this secret, because they know so little, whereas you, thanks to the diamond, are about to see that the dead, who are remembered, live as happily as though they were not dead.
Is Light coming with us?
No, it is more proper that this visit should be confined to the family. I will wait near here, so as not to appear indiscreet. They did not invite me.
Which way are we to go?
Over there. You are on the threshold of the land of memory, As soon as you have turned the diamond, you will see a big tree with a board on it, which will show you that you are there. But don't forget that you are to be back, both of you, by 9:15. It is extremely important. Now mind and be punctual, for all would be lost if you were late. Goodbye for the present.
Calling the cat, the dog, Light, etc.
This way, and the little ones that way.
She goes out to the right, with Light, the animals, etc., while the children go out to the left. Curtain. End of Act 2, Scene 1. Act 2, Scene 2. The Land of Memory, of the Bluebird, by Maurice MAETERLINCK, translated by Alexander TEIXEIRA de MaTTOS. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. A thick fog, which stands out on the right, close to the footlights. The trunk of a large oak, with a board nailed to it. A vague, milky, impenetrable light prevails. Tyltyl and Mytil are at the foot of the oak.
Here is the tree.
There's the board.
I can't read it. Wait, I will climb up on this root. That's it. It says Land of Memory.
Is this where it begins?
Yes, there's an arrow.
Well, where are Grandad and Granny?
Behind the fog, we shall see.
I can see nothing at all. I can't see my feet or my hands.
Whimpering.
I'm cold. I don't want to travel any more. I want to go home.
Come, don't keep on crying just like water. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, a great big little girl like you. Look, the fog is lifting already. We shall see what's behind it.
The mist begins to move. It grows thinner and lighter, disperses, evaporates. Soon, in a more and more transparent light, appears, under a leafy vault, a cheerful little peasant's cottage, covered with creepers. The door and windows are open. There are beehives under a shed, flower pots on the window sills, a cage with a sleeping blackbird. Beside the door is a bench, on which is an old peasant and his wife. Tyltyl's grandfather and grandmother are seated, both sound asleep. Suddenly recognizing them,
It's Grandad and Granny.
Clapping her hands.
Yes, so it is.
Still a little distrustful.
Take care. We don't know yet if they can stir. Let's keep behind the tree.
Granny Tyl opens her eyes, raises her head, stretches herself, gives a sigh, and looks at Gaffer Tyl, who also wakes slowly from his sleep.
I have a notion that our grandchildren who are still alive are coming to see us today.
They are certainly thinking of us, for I feel anyhow, and I have pins and needles in my legs.
I think they must be quite near, for I see tears of joy dancing before my eyes.
No, they are a long way off. I still feel weak.
I tell you, they are here. I am quite strong.
Rushing up from behind the oak.
Here we are. Gaffer, Granny. It's we.
There, you see? What did I tell you? I was sure they would come today.
Tyltyl, Mytil, it's you, it's she.
Trying to run to meet them.
I can't run. I've still got the rheumatics.
Hobbling along as fast as he can.
No more can I. That's because of my wooden leg, which I still wear instead of the one I broke when I fell off the big oak.
The grandparents and the children exchange frantic embraces.
How tall and strong you've grown, Tyltyl.
Stroking Mytil's hair.
And Mytil, just look at her. What pretty hair, what pretty eyes.
come and kiss me again. Come on to my lap.
And what about me?
No, come to me first. How are Daddy and Mummy Till?
Quite well, Granny. They were asleep when we went out.
Gazing at them and covering them with caresses.
Lord, how pretty they are, and how nice and clean. Was it Mummy who washed you? And there are no holes in your stockings. I used to darn them once, you know. Why don't you come to see us oftener? It makes us so happy. It is months and months now that you've forgotten us and that we have seen nobody.
We couldn't, Granny, and today it's only because of the fairy.
We are always here, waiting for a visit from those who are alive. They come so seldom. The last time you were here, let me see, when was it? It was on All Hallows, when the church bells were ringing.
All Hallows? We didn't go out that day, for we both had very bad colds.
No, but you thought of us.
Yes.
Well, every time you think of us, we wake up and see you again.
What, is it enough to...
But come, you know that.
No, I didn't know.
To Gaffer Till.
It's astonishing up there. They don't know yet. Do they never learn anything?
It's as in our own time. The living are so stupid when they speak of the others.
Do you sleep all the time?
Yes, we get plenty of sleep, while waiting for a thought of the living to come and wake us. Ah, it is good to sleep when life is done, but it is pleasant also to wake up from time to time.
So you are not really dead?
What do you say? What is he saying? Now he's using words we don't understand. Is it a new word? A new invention?
The word dead?
Yes, that was the word. What does it mean?
Why, it means that one's no longer alive.
How silly they are up there.
Is it nice here?
Oh, yes, not bad, not bad. And if one could just have a smoke...
Aren't you allowed to smoke?
Yes, it's allowed, but I've broken my pipe.
Yes, all would be well if only you would come and see us oftener. Do you remember, Tyltyl, the last time I baked you a lovely apple tart? You ate such a lot of it that you made yourself ill.
But I haven't eaten any apple tarts since last year. There were no apples this year.
Don't talk nonsense. Here we have them always.
That's different.
What? That's different? Why, nothing's different when we're able to kiss each other.
Looking first at his grandmother and then at his grandfather.
You haven't changed, Granddad, not a bit, not a bit. And Granny hasn't changed a bit either. But you're better looking.
Well, we feel all right. We have stopped growing older. But you, how tall you're growing. Yes, you're shooting up finely. Look over there on the door is the mark of the last time. That was on All Hallows. Now then, stand up straight.
Tyltyl stands up against the door.
4 fingers taller. That's immense.
Mytil also stands up against the door.
And Mytil, 4 1/2. Ah, ill weeds grow apace. How they've grown, oh, how they've grown.
Looking around him with delight.
Nothing has changed. Everything is in its old place. Only everything is prettier. There is the clock with the big hand which I broke the point off.
And here is the soup tureen you chipped a corner off.
And here is the hole which I made in the door the day I found the gimlet.
Yes, you've done some damage in your time. And here is the plum tree, in which you were so fond of climbing when I wasn't looking. It still has its fine red plums.
But they are finer than ever.
And here is the old blackbird. Does he still sing?
The blackbird wakes and begins to sing at the top of his voice.
You see, as soon as one thinks of him,
observing with amazement that the blackbird is quite blue.
But he's blue. Why, that's the bird, the blue bird which I am to take back to the fairy. And you never told us that you had him here. Oh, he's blue, blue, blue as a blue glass marble.
Entreatingly,
Grandad, Granny, will you give him to me?
Yes, perhaps. What do you think, Granny?
Certainly, certainly. What use is he to us? He does nothing but sleep. We never hear him sing.
I will put him in my cage. I say, where is my cage? Oh, I know. I left it behind the big tree.
He runs to the tree, fetches the cage, and puts the blackbird into it.
So really? You've really given him to me? How pleased the fairy will be, and Light, too.
Mind you, I won't answer for the bird. I'm afraid that he will never get used again to the restless life up there, and that he'll come back here by the first wind that blows this way. However, we shall see. Leave him there for the present, and come and look at the cow.
Noticing the hives.
And how are the bees getting on?
Oh, pretty well. They are no longer alive, as you call it up there, but they work hard.
Going up to the hives.
Oh, yes, I can smell the honey. How heavy the hives must be. All the flowers are so beautiful. And my little dead sisters, are they here too?
And where are my 3 little brothers who were buried?
At these words, 7 little children of different sizes, like a set of Pan's pipes, come out of the cottage one by one.
Here they are, here they are. As soon as you think of them, as soon as you speak of them, they are there, the darlings.
Tyltyl and Mytil run to meet the children. They hustle and hug one another, and dance and whirl about and utter screams of joy.
Hello, Perrault.
They clutch each other by the hair.
Ah, so we're going to fight again, as in the old days. And Robert? I say, Jean, what's become of your top? Madeline and Pierrette and Pauline, and here's Riquette.
Oh, Riquette, she's still crawling on all 4s.
Yes, she has stopped growing.
Noticing the little dog yelping around them.
There's Kiki, whose tail I cut off with Pauline's scissors. He hasn't changed either.
Sententiously.
No, nothing changes here.
And Pauline still has a pimple on her nose.
Yes, it won't go away. There's nothing to be done for it.
Oh, how well they look, how fat and glossy they are. What jolly cheeks they have. They look well fed.
They have been much better since they've ceased living. There's nothing more to fear. Nobody is ever ill. One has no anxiety.
The clock inside the cottage strikes 8. Amazed.
What's that?
I don't know, I'm sure. It must be the clock.
It can't be. It never strikes.
Because we no longer think of the time. Was anyone thinking of the time?
Yes, I was. What is the time?
I'm sure I can't tell. I've forgotten how. It struck 8 times, so I suppose it's what they call 8 o'clock up there.
Light expects me at 9:15. It's because of the fairy. It's extremely important. I'm off.
Don't leave us like that, just as supper's ready. Quick, quick, let's lay the table outside. I've got some capital cabbage soup and a beautiful plum tart.
They get out the table, dishes, plates, etc., and lay for supper outside the door, all helping.
Well, as I've got the bluebird, and then it's so long since I tasted cabbage soup, ever since I've been traveling. They don't have it at the hotels.
There, that didn't take long. Sit down, children. Don't let us lose time. If you're in a hurry.
They have lit the lamp and served the soup. The grandparents and the children sit down round the table, jostling and elbowing one another, and laughing and screaming with pleasure. Tyltyl, eating like a glutton.
How good it is! Oh, how good it is! I want some more, more.
He brandishes his wooden spoon and noisily hits his plate with it.
Come, come, a little more quiet. You're just as ill-behaved as ever, and you'll break your plate.
Tyltyl, half raising himself on his stool.
I want more, more.
He seizes the tureen, drags it toward him, and upsets it and the soup, which trickles over the table and down over their knees, and scalds them. Yells and screams of pain.
There! I told you so!
Gaffer Tyl, giving Tyltyl a loud box on the ear.
That's one for you.
Tyltyl, staggered for a moment, next puts his hand to his cheek with an expression of rapture.
Oh, that's just like the slaps you used to give me when you were alive. Grandad, how nice it was and how good it makes one feel. I must give you a kiss.
Very well. There's more where that came from, if you like them.
The clock strikes 8:30. Tyltyl, starting up.
8:30.
He flings down his spoon.
Mytil, we've only just got time.
Oh, I say, just a few minutes more? Your house isn't on fire. We see you so seldom.
No, we can't possibly. Light is so kind, and I promised her. Come, Mytil, come.
Goodness gracious, how tiresome the living are, with all their business and excitement.
Tyltyl, taking his cage and hurriedly kissing everybody all round.
Goodbye, Grandad. Goodbye, Granny. Goodbye, brothers and sisters. Perrault, Robert, Pauline, Madeline, Riquette, and you too, Kiki. I feel we mustn't stay. Don't cry, Granny. We will come back often.
Come back every day.
Yes, yes. We will come back as often as we can.
It's our only pleasure, and it's such a treat for us when your thoughts visit us.
We have no other amusements.
Quick, quick, my cage, my bird.
Gaffer Tyl, handing him the cage.
Here they are. You know, I don't warrant him, and if he's not the right color...
Goodbye, goodbye.
Goodbye, Tyltyl. Goodbye, Mytil. Remember the barley sugar. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Come again.
They all wave their handkerchiefs, while Tyltyl and Mytil slowly move away. But already, during the last sentences, the fog of the beginning of the scene has been gradually reforming, so that, at the end, all has disappeared in the mist, and the fall of the curtain. Tyltyl and Mytil are again alone visible under the big oak.
It's this way, Mytil.
Where is Light?
I don't know.
Looking at the bird in the cage.
But the bird is no longer blue. He has turned black.
Give me your hand, little brother. I feel so frightened and so cold.
Curtain. End of Act 2, Scene 2. Act 3, Scene 1, The Palace of the Night. Of The Bluebird by Maurice MAETERLINCK. Translated by Alexander Teixeira de Mattos. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. A large and wonderful hall of an austere, rigid, metallic, and sepulchral magnificence, giving the impression of a Greek temple with columns, architraves, flagstones, and ornaments of black marble, gold, and ebony. The hall is trapezium-shaped. Basalt steps, occupying almost the entire width, divided into 3 successive stages, which rise gradually toward the back. On the right and left, between the columns, are doors of sombre bronze. At the back, a monumental door of brass. The palace is lit only by a vague light that seems to emanate mainly from the brilliancy of the marble and the ebony. At the rise of the curtain, Night, in the form of a very old woman, clad in long black garments, is seated on the steps of the second stage between 2 children, of whom one, almost naked, like Cupid, is smiling in a deep sleep, while the other is standing up, motionless and veiled from head to foot. Enter from the right, in the foreground, the cat.
Who goes there?
The cat, sinking heavily upon the marble steps.
It is I, Mother Night. I am worn out.
What's the matter, child? Oh, you look pale and thin, and you are splashed with mud to your very whiskers. Have you been fighting on the tiles again, in the snow and rain?
It has nothing to do with the tiles. It's our secret that's at stake. It's the beginning of the end. I have managed to escape for a moment to warn you, but I greatly fear that there is nothing to be done.
Why? What has happened?
I have told you of little Tyltyl, the woodcutter's son, and of the magic diamond. Well, he is coming here to demand the blue bird of you.
He hasn't got it yet.
He will have it soon, unless we perform some miracle. This is how the matter stands. Light, who is guiding him, and betraying us all, for she has placed herself entirely on man's side, Light has learned that the blue bird, the real one, the only one that can live in the light of day, is hidden here, among the blue birds of the dreams that live on the rays of the moon and die as soon as they set eyes on the sun. She knows that she is forbidden to cross the threshold of your palace, but she is sending the children, and, as you cannot prevent man from opening the doors of your secrets, I do not know how all this will end. In any case, if, unfortunately, they should lay their hands on the real blue bird, there would be nothing for us but to disappear.
Oh dear, oh dear. What times we live in. I never have a moment's peace. I cannot understand man these last few years. What is he aiming at? Must he absolutely know everything? Already he has captured a third of my mysteries. All my terrors are afraid and dare not leave the house. My ghosts have taken flight. The greater part of my sicknesses are ill.
I know, Mother Night, I know. The times are hard, and we are almost alone in our struggle against man. But I hear them coming. I see only one way. As they are children, we must give them such a fright that they will not dare to persist or to open the great door at the back, behind which they would find the birds of the moon. The secrets of the other caverns will be enough to distract their attention and terrify them.
Night, listening to a sound outside.
What do I hear? Are there many of them?
It is nothing. It is our friends, Bread and Sugar. Water is not very well, and Fire could not come, because he is related to Light. The dog is the only one who is not on our side, but it is never possible to keep him away.
Enter timidly, on the right, in the foreground, Tytl, Mytil, Bread, Sugar, and the dog. The cat, rushing up to Tyltyl.
This way, little master, this way. I have told Night, who was delighted to see you. You must forgive her. She is a little indisposed. That is why she was not able to come to meet you.
Good day, Mrs. Night.
Night, in an offended voice.
Good day? I am not used to that. You might say good night, or at least good evening.
Mortified.
I beg your pardon, ma'am. I did not know.
Pointing to the two children.
Are those your two little boys? They are very nice.
This is Sleep.
Why is he so fat?
That is because he sleeps well.
And the other, hiding himself? Why does he veil his face? Is he ill? What's his name?
That is Sleep's sister. It is better not to mention her name.
Why?
Because her name is not pleasant to hear. But let us talk of something else. The cat tells me that you have come here to look for the blue bird.
Yes, ma'am, if you will allow me. Will you tell me where he is?
I don't know, dear. All I can say is that he is not here. I have never seen him.
Yes, yes. Light told me that he was here, and Light knows what she is saying. Will you hand me your keys?
But you must understand, dear, that I cannot give my keys like that to the first comer. I have the keeping of all nature's secrets, and I am absolutely forbidden to deliver them to anybody, especially to a child.
You have no right to refuse them to man when he asks you for them. I know that.
Who told you?
Light.
Light again, always light. How dare she interfere? How dare she?
Shall I take them from her by force, my little god?
Hold your tongue. Keep quiet and try to behave.
To Night.
Come, madam, give me your keys, please.
Have you seen the sign, at least? Where is it?
Tyltyl, touching his hat.
Behold the diamond.
Night, resigning herself to the inevitable.
Well, then, here is the key that opens all the doors of the hall. Look to yourself if you meet with a misfortune. I will not be responsible.
Bread, very anxiously.
Is it dangerous?
Dangerous? I will go so far as to say that I myself do not know what I shall do when certain of those bronze doors open upon the abyss. All around the hall, in each of those basalt caves, are all the evils, all the plagues, all the sicknesses, all the terrors, all the catastrophes, all the mysteries that have afflicted life since the beginning of the world. I have had trouble enough to imprison them there with the aid of destiny, and it is not without difficulty, I assure you, that I keep some little order among those undisciplined characters. You have seen what happens when one of them escapes and shows itself on earth.
My great age, my experience, and my devotion make me the natural protector of these two children. Therefore, Mrs. Knight, permit me to ask you a question.
Certainly.
In case of danger, which is the way to escape?
There is no way of escape.
Tyltyl, taking the key and climbing the first steps.
Let us begin here. What is behind this bronze door?
I think it is the ghosts. It is long since I opened the door and since they came out.
Placing the key in the lock.
I will see.
To Bread.
Have you the cage for the blue bird?
Bread, with chattering teeth.
I am not frightened, but don't you think it would be better not to open the door, but to peep through the keyhole?
I don't want your advice.
Mytil, suddenly beginning to cry.
I am frightened. Where is Sugar? I want to go home.
Sugar, eagerly, obsequiously.
Here I am, miss. Here I am. Don't cry. I'll break off one of my fingers so that you may have a sugar stick.
Enough of this.
He turns the key and cautiously opens the door. Forthwith, 5 or 6 ghosts of strange and different forms escape and disperse on every side. Mytil gives a scream of fright. Bread, terrified, throws away the cage and goes and hides at the back of the hall, while Night, running after the ghosts, cries out to Tyltyl.
Quick, quick, shut the door. They will all escape and we should never be able to catch them again. They have felt bored in there ever since man ceased to take them seriously.
She runs after the ghosts and endeavours, with the aid of a whip formed of snakes, to drive them back to the door of their prison.
Help me! Here! Here!
Tyltyl to the dog.
Help her, Tilo, at them.
Leaping up and barking.
Yes, yes, yes!
And Bread, where's Bread?
Bread, at the back of the hall.
Here, I'm near the door to prevent them from going out.
One of the ghosts moves in that direction, and he rushes away at full speed, uttering yells of terror. Night, to 3 ghosts whom she has seized by the neck.
This way, you...
To Tyltyl.
Open the door a little.
She pushes the ghosts into the cave.
There, that's it.
The dog brings up 2 more.
And these 2. Come, quick, in with you. You know you're only allowed on All Hallows.
She closes the door. Tyltyl, going to another door.
What's behind this one?
What is the good? I have already told you the bluebird has never been here. However, as you please. Open the doors if you like. It's the sicknesses.
Tyltyl, with the key in the lock.
Must I be careful in opening?
No, it is not worthwhile. They are very quiet, the poor little things. They are not happy. Man for some time has been waging such a determined war upon them, especially since the discovery of the microbes. Open, you will see.
Tyltyl opens the door quite wide. Nothing appears.
Don't they come out?
I told you they are almost all poorly and very much discouraged. The doctors are so unkind to them. Go in for a moment and see for yourself.
Tyltyl enters the cavern and comes out again immediately.
The bluebird is not there. They look very ill, those sicknesses of yours. They did not even lift their heads.
One little sickness in slippers, a dressing gown, and a cotton nightcap escapes from the cavern and begins to frisk about the hall.
Look, there's a little one escaping. Which one is it?
It's nothing. One of the smallest. It's cold in the head. It's one of those which are least persecuted and which enjoy the best health.
Calling to Cold in the Head.
Come here, dear. It's too soon yet. You must wait for the winter.
Cold in the Head, sneezing, coughing, and blowing its nose, returns to the cavern, and Tyltyl shuts the door. Then going to the next door.
Let us look at this one. What is in here?
Take care. It is the wars. They are more terrible and powerful than ever. Heaven knows what would happen if one of them escaped. Fortunately, they are rather heavy and slow-moving. But we must stand ready to push back the door, all of us together, while you take a rapid glance into the cavern.
Tyltyl, with 1,000 precautions, opens the door ajar so that there is only a little gap to which he can put his eye. He at once doubles his back against the door, shouting,
Quick, quick, push with all your might. They have seen me. They are all coming. They are breaking down the door.
Come, all together. Push hard. Bread, what are you doing? Push, all of you. Ah, how strong they are. Ah, that's it. They are giving way. It was high time. Did you see them?
Yes, yes. They are huge and awful. I don't think that they have the blue bird.
You may be sure they haven't. If they had, they would eat him at once. Well, have you had enough of it? You see, there is nothing to be done.
I must see everything. Light said so.
Light said so. It's an easy thing to say when one's afraid and stays at home.
Let us go to the next. What is in here?
Oh, this is where I look up the shades and the terrors.
Can I open the door?
Certainly. They are pretty quiet. They are like the sicknesses.
Tyltyl, half opening the door, with a certain mistrustfulness, and taking a look into the cavern.
Are they not there?
Night, looking into the cavern in her turn.
Well, Shades, what are you doing? Come out for a moment and stretch your legs. It will do you good. And the terrors also. There is nothing to be afraid of.
A few shades and a few terrors, in the shape of women, shrouded, the former in black veils and the latter in greenish veils, piteously venture to take a few steps outside the cavern, and then, upon a movement of Tyltyl's, hastily run back again.
Come, don't be afraid. It's only a child. He won't hurt you.
To Tyltyl.
They have become extremely timid, except the great ones, those whom you see at the back.
Tyltyl, looking into the depths of the cave.
Oh, how terrifying they are!
They are chained up. They are the only ones that are not afraid of man. But shut the door, lest they should grow angry.
Tyltyl, going to the next door.
I say, this is a darker one. What is here?
There are several mysteries behind this one. If you are absolutely bent upon it, you may open it too. But don't go in. Be very cautious and let us get ready to push back the door, as we did with the wars.
Tyltyl half opening the door, with unparalleled precautions, and passing his head fearsomely through the aperture.
Oh, how cold! My eyes are smarting. Shut it quickly. Push, oh push. They are pushing against us.
Night, the dog, the cat, and Sugar push back the door.
Oh, I saw.
What?
Upset.
I don't know, it was awful. They were all seated like monsters without eyes. Who was the giant who tried to seize me?
It was probably Silence. He has charge of this door. It appears to have been alarming. You are quite pale still and trembling all over.
Yes, I would never have believed. I had never seen, and my hands are frozen.
It will be worse presently if you go on.
Tyltyl going to the next door.
And this one? Is this terrible also?
No, there's a little of everything here. It is where I keep the unemployed stars, my personal perfumes, a few glimmers that belong to me, such as will-o'-the-wisps, glowworms, and fireflies, also the dew, the song of the nightingales, and so on.
Just so, the stars, the song of the nightingales. This must be the door.
Open it, if you like. There is nothing very bad inside.
Tyltyl throws the door wide open. The stars, in the shape of beautiful young girls veiled in many-colored radiancy, escape from their prison, disperse over the hall, and form graceful groups on the steps and around the columns, bathed in a sort of luminous penumbra. The perfumes of the night, who are almost invisible, the will-o'-the-wisps, the fireflies, and the transparent dew join them, while the song of the nightingales streams from the cavern and floods the palace of night. Mytil, clapping her hands with delight.
Oh, what pretty ladies!
And how well they dance!
And how sweet they smell!
And how beautifully they sing!
What are those whom one can hardly see?
Those are the perfumes of my shadow.
And those others over there in spun glass?
They are the dew of the plains and forests. But enough, they would never have done. It is the devil's own business to get them back once they begin to dance.
Clapping her hands together.
Now then, stars, quick! This is not the time for dancing. The sky is overcast and heavily clouded. Come, quick in with you, or I will go and fetch a ray of sunlight.
The stars, perfumes, etc., take to flight in dismay and rush back into the cavern, and the door is closed upon them. At the same time, the song of the nightingale ceases. Tyltyl, going to the door at the back.
Here is the great middle door.
Night, gravely.
Do not open that one.
Why not?
Because it is not allowed.
Then it's here that the bluebird is hidden. Light told me so.
Maternally.
Listen to me, child. I have been kind and indulgent. I have done for you what I have never done for anyone before. I have given up all my secrets to you. I like you. I feel pity for your youth and innocence, and I'm speaking to you as a mother. Listen to me, my child, and believe me. Relinquish your quest. Go no further. Do not tempt fate. Do not open that door.
Tyltyl a little shaken.
But why?
Because I do not wish you to be lost. Because not one of those, do you hear, not one of those who have opened it, were it but by a hair's breadth, has ever returned alive to the light of day. Because every awful thing imaginable, because all the terrors, all the horrors of which men speak on earth, are as nothing compared with the most harmless of those which assail a man from the moment when his eye lights upon the first threats of the abyss to which no one dares give a name. So much so that I myself, if you are bent, in spite of everything, upon touching that door, will ask you to wait until I have sought safety in my windowless tower. Now it is for you to know, for you to reflect.
Mytil, all in tears, utters cries of inarticulate terror and tries to drag Tyltyl away. Bread, with chattering teeth.
Don't do it, master dear.
Flinging himself on his knees.
Take pity on us, I implore you, on my knees. You see that night is right.
You are sacrificing the lives of all of us.
I must open the door.
Mytil, stamping her feet amid her sobs.
I won't. I shan't.
Sugar and Bread, take Mytil by the hand and run away with her. I am going to open the door.
Run for your lives. Come quickly. It is time.
She flees. Bread, fleeing wildly.
At least wait till we are at the end of the hall.
The cat, also fleeing.
Wait! Wait!
They hide behind the columns at the other end of the hall. Tyltyl remains alone with the dog by the monumental door. The dog, panting and hiccuping with suppressed fright.
I shall stay. I shall stay. I'm not afraid. I shall stay. I shall stay with my little god. I shall stay. I shall stay.
Tyltyl patting the dog.
That's right, Tylo. That's right. Kiss me. You and I are two. And now, steady.
He places the key in the lock. A cry of alarm comes from the other end of the hall, where the runaways have taken refuge. The key has hardly touched the door before its tall and wide leaves open in the middle, glide apart and disappear on either side in the thickness of the walls, suddenly revealing the most unexpected of gardens, unreal, infinite, and ineffable, a dream garden bathed in nocturnal light, where, among stars and planets, illumining all that they touch, flying ceaselessly from jewel to jewel and from moonbeam to moonbeam, fairy-like bluebirds hover perpetually and harmoniously down to the confines of the horizon, birds innumerable to the point of appearing to be the breath, the azured atmosphere, the very substance of the wonderful garden. Tyltyl, dazzled, bewildered, standing in the light of the garden.
Oh, heaven!
Turning to those who have fled.
Come quickly, they are here. It's they, it's they, it's they. We have them at last. Thousands of bluebirds, millions, thousands of millions. There will be too many. Come, Mytil. Come, Tylo. Come all. Help me.
Darting in among the birds.
You can catch them by handfuls. They are not shy. They are not afraid of us. Here, here.
Mytil and the others run up. They all enter the dazzling garden except Night and the cat.
You see, there are too many of them. They fly into my hands. Look, they are eating the moonbeams. Mytil, where are you? There are so many blue wings, so many feathers falling that one cannot see anything for them. Don't bite them, Tylo. Don't hurt them. Take them very gently.
Mytil, covered with bluebirds.
I have caught 7 already. Oh, how they flap their wings! I can't hold them.
Nor can I. I have too many of them. They're escaping. They're coming back. Tylo has some too. They will drag us with them. They will take us up to the sky. Quick, let us go out this way. Light is waiting for us. How pleased she will be. This way, this way.
They escape from the garden with their hands full of struggling birds, and, crossing the whole hall amid the mad whirl of the azure wings, go out on the right where they first entered, followed by Bread and Sugar, who have caught no birds. Night and the cat, left alone, return to the back of the stage and look anxiously into the garden.
Haven't they got him?
No, I see him there, on that moonbeam. They could not reach him. He kept too high.
The curtain falls. Immediately after, before the dropped curtain, enter at the same time on the left, Light, and on the right, Tyltyl, Mytil, and the dog, who run up all covered by the birds which they have captured. But already the birds appear lifeless and, with hanging heads and drooping wings, are nothing more in their hands than inert remains.
Well, have you caught him?
Yes, yes, as many as we wanted. There are thousands of them. Here they are. Do you see them?
Looking at the birds, which he holds out to Light, and perceiving that they are dead.
Why, they are dead. What have they done to them? Yours too, Mytil? Tylo's also?
Angrily flinging down the dead bodies of the birds.
Oh, this is too bad. Who killed them? I am too unhappy.
He hides his head in his arms, and his whole frame is shaken with sobs. Light, pressing him maternally in her arms.
Do not cry, my child. You did not catch the one that is able to live in broad daylight. He has gone elsewhere. You shall find him again.
The dog, looking at the dead birds.
Are they good to eat?
They all go out on the left. End of Act 3, Scene 1. Act 3, Scene 2, The Forest, of the Bluebird, by Maurice MAETERLINCK. Translated by Alexander TEIXEIRA de MaTTOS. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. A forest. It is night. The moon is shining. Old trees of various kinds, notably an oak, a beech, an elm, a poplar, a fir-tree, a cypress, a lime-tree, a chestnut-tree, etc. Enter the cat, bowing to the trees in turn.
To all the trees here present, greeting.
The trees murmuring in their leaves.
Greeting. This is a great day, a day of days. Our enemy is coming to set free your energies and to deliver himself into your hands. It is Tyltyl, the son of the Woodcutter, who has done you so much harm. He is seeking the blue bird, whom you have kept hidden from man since the beginning of the world, and who alone knows our secret.
A murmuring in the leaves.
What do you say? Ah, it's the poplar. Yes, he possesses a diamond which has the virtue of setting free our spirits for a moment. He can compel us to hand over the blue bird, and thenceforth we shall be definitely at man's mercy.
A murmuring in the leaves.
Who is speaking? Ah, the oak. How are you?
A murmuring in the leaves of the oak.
Still got your cold? Does the licorice no longer look after you? Can't you throw off your rheumatism? Believe me, that's because of the moss. You put too much of it on your feet. Is the blue bird still with you?
A murmuring in the leaves of the oak.
I beg your pardon? Yes, there is no room for hesitation. We must take the opportunity. He must be done away with.
A murmuring in the leaves.
I didn't quite catch. Oh, yes. He is with his little sister. She must die too.
A murmuring in the leaves.
Yes, they have the dog with them. There is no keeping him away.
A murmuring in the leaves.
What did you say? Bribe him? Impossible. I have tried everything.
A murmuring in the leaves.
Ah, is that you, Fir-Tree? Yes, get 4 planks ready. Yes, there are fire, sugar, water, and bread besides. They are all with us, except Bread, who is rather doubtful. Light alone is on man's side, but she won't come. I made the children believe that they ought to steal away while she was asleep. There never was such an opportunity.
A murmuring in the leaves.
Ah, that's the beech's voice. Yes, you are right. We must inform the animals. Has the rabbit got his drum? Is he with you? Good. Let him beat the troop at once. Here they are.
The roll of the rabbit's drum is heard, diminishing in the distance. Enter Tyltyl, Mytil, and the dog.
Is this the place?
The cat, obsequiously, eagerly, mealy-mouthed, rushing to meet the children.
Ah, there you are, my little master. How well you look and how pretty this evening. I went before you to announce your arrival. All is going well. We shall have the blue bird tonight, I am sure. I have just sent the rabbit to beat the troop, in order to convoke the principal animals of the country. You can hear them already among the foliage. Listen. They are a little shy and dare not come near.
The sounds are heard of different animals, such as cows, pigs, horses, donkeys, etc. The cat, aside to Tyltyl, taking him apart.
But why have you brought the dog? I have told you he is on the worst terms with everybody, even the trees. I fear that his odious presence will spoil everything.
I could not get rid of him.
To the dog, threatening him.
Go away, you ugly thing.
Who, I? Why? What have I done?
I tell you, go away. We don't want you here, and there's an end of it. You're a nuisance there.
I shan't say a word. I shall follow you at a distance. They shan't see me. Shall I beg?
The cat, aside to Tyltyl.
Do you allow this disobedience? Hit him on the nose with your stick. He is really unbearable.
Tyltyl beating the dog.
There, that will teach you to be more obedient.
Yelling.
Ow, ow, ow!
What do you say?
I must kiss you, now you've beaten me.
He covers Tyltyl with violent kisses and embraces.
Come, that will do. That's enough. Go away.
No, I want him to stay. I'm afraid of everything when he is not there.
The dog, leaping up, and almost upsetting Mytil, whom he overwhelms with hurried and enthusiastic kisses.
Oh, the dear little girl! How beautiful she is! How good she is! How beautiful she is! How sweet she is! I must kiss her! Once more! Once more! Once more!
What an idiot! Well, we shall see. Let us lose no time. Turn the diamond.
Where shall I stand?
In this moonbeam you will see better. There. Turn it gently.
Tyltyl turns the diamond. A long drawn-out rustling shakes the leaves and branches. The oldest and most stately trunks open to make way for the soul which each of them contains. The appearance of these souls differs according to the appearance and the character of the trees which they represent. The soul of the elm, for instance, is a sort of pursy, pot-bellied, crabbed gnome. The lime-tree is placid, familiar, and jovial. The beech, elegant and agile. The birch, white, reserved, and restless. The willow, stunted, dishevelled, and plaintive. The fir-tree, tall, lean, and taciturn. The cypress, tragic. The chestnut-tree, pretentious and rather dandified. The poplar, sprightly, cumbersome, talkative. Some emerge slowly from their trunks, torpidly stretching themselves as though they had been imprisoned or asleep for ages. Others leap out actively, eagerly, and all come and stand in a circle round the two children, while keeping as near as they can to the tree in which they were born. The poplar, running up first and screaming at the top of his voice,
Men, listen, we shall be able to talk with them. We've done with silence, done with it. Where do they come from? Who are they? What are they?
To the lime-tree, who comes forward quietly smoking his pipe.
Do you know them, Daddy Lime-tree?
I do not remember ever having seen them.
Oh, yes, you must have. You know all the men. You're always hanging about their houses.
The lime-tree, examining the children.
No, I assure you. I don't know them. They are too young still. I only know the lovers who come to see me by moonlight, and the topers who drink their beer under my branches.
The chestnut-tree, affectedly adjusting his eyeglasses.
Who are these? Are they poor people from the country?
Oh, as for you, Mr. Chestnut-tree, ever since you have refused to show yourself except in the streets of big towns.
The willow, hobbling along in a pair of wooden shoes.
Oh dear, oh dear. They have come to cut off my head and arms again for faggots.
Silence! Here is the oak leaving his place. He looks far from well this evening. Don't you think he is growing old? What can his age be? The fir-tree says he's 4,000, but I'm sure that he exaggerates. Listen, he will tell us about it.
The oak comes slowly forward. He is fabulously old, crowned with mistletoe and clad in a long green gown edged with moss and lichen. He is blind. His white beard streams in the wind. He leans with one hand on a knotty stick, and with the other on a young oakling, who serves as his guide. The bluebird is perched on his shoulder. At his approach the other trees draw themselves up in a row and bow respectfully.
He has the bluebird. Quick, quick, here, give it to me.
Silence!
The cat to Tyltyl.
Take off your hat. It's the oak.
The oak to Tyltyl.
Who are you?
I am Tyltyl, sir. When can I have the bluebird?
Tyltyl, the woodcutter's son.
Yes, sir.
Your father has done us much harm. In my family alone, he has put to death 600 of my sons, 475 uncles and aunts, 1,200 cousins of both sexes, 380 daughters-in-law and 12,000 great-grandsons.
I know nothing about it, sir. He did not do it on purpose.
What have you come here for? And why have you made your souls leave their abodes?
I beg your pardon, sir, for disturbing you. The cat said that you would tell us where the bluebird was.
Yes, I know that you are looking for the bluebird. That is to say, the great secret of things and of happiness, so that man may make our servitude still harder.
Oh, no, sir. It is for the fairy Berilyuna's little girl, who is very ill.
The oak, laying silence upon him with a gesture.
Enough. I do not hear the animals. Where are they? All this concerns them as much as us. We, the trees, must not assume the responsibility alone for the grave measures that have become necessary. On the day when man hears that we have done what we are about to do, there will be terrible reprisals. It is right, therefore, that our agreement should be unanimous, so that our silence may be the same.
The Fir-Tree, looking over the top of the other trees.
The animals are coming. They are following the rabbit. Here are the souls of the horse, the bull, the ox, the cow, the wolf, the sheep, the pig, the cock, the goat, the ass, and the bear.
Enter the souls of the animals, who, as the Fir-Tree utters their names, come forward and sit down among the trees, with the exception of the soul of the goat, who roams to and fro, and of the pig, who snuffles among the roots.
Are all here present?
The hen could not leave her eggs. The hare is out on a run. The stag has a pain in his horns. The fox is ill. Here's the doctor's certificate. The goose did not understand, and the turkey flew into a passion.
These abstentions are most regrettable. However, we have a quorum. You know, my brothers, the nature of our business. The child you see before you, thanks to a talisman stolen from the powers of earth, is able to take possession of the bluebird, and thus to snatch from us the secret which we have kept since the origin of life. Now we know enough of man to entertain no doubt as to the fate which he reserves for us once he is in possession of this secret. That's why it seems to me that any hesitation would be both foolish and criminal. It is a serious moment. The child must be done away with before it is too late.
What is he saying?
The dog, prowling round the oak and showing his fangs.
Do you see my teeth, you old cripple?
The beech indignantly.
He is insulting the oak.
Is that the dog? Drive him out. We must suffer no traitors among us.
The cat, aside to Tyltyl.
Send the dog away. It's a misunderstanding. Leave it to me. I will arrange things. But send him away as quick as you can.
Tyltyl to the dog.
Will you be off?
Do let me worry the gouty old beggar's moss slippers. It will be such a joke.
Hold your tongue, and be off with you. Be off, you ugly brute.
All right, I'm going. I'll be back when you want me.
The cat, aside to Tyltyl.
It would be a good thing to chain him up, or he will commit some folly. The trees will be angry, and all will end badly.
What can I do? I have lost his leash.
Here's the ivy just coming along with strong bonds.
The dog, growling.
I'll come back. Grouty toes, timber toes, pack of old stuffed growths, pack of old roots. It's the cat who's at the bottom of all this. I'll be even with him. What have you been whispering about, you sneak, you tiger, you Judas? Whoa, whoa, whoa!
You see, he insults everybody.
Yes, he is unbearable, and one can't hear oneself speak. Mr. Ivy, will you chain him up, please?
The ivy, timorously going up to the dog.
Won't he bite?
The dog growling.
On the contrary, he's going to kiss you. Just wait and see. Come along, you old ball of twine, you.
Tyltyl threatening him with his stick.
Tilo!
The dog cringing at Tyltyl's feet and wagging his tail.
What am I to do, my little god?
Lie down flat. Obey the ivy. Let him bind you, or...
The dog, growling between his teeth, while the ivy binds him.
Ball of twine, hunk of yarn, hangman's rope, calf's leash. Look, my little god, he's cutting my paws, he's choking me.
I don't care. It's your own fault. Hold your tongue, be quiet, you are unbearable.
You're wrong for all that. They mean mischief. Take care, my little god. He's closing my mouth. I can't speak.
Ivy, who has the dog tied up like a parcel.
Where shall we put him? I've muzzled him finely. He can't utter a word.
Fasten him tight down there behind my trunk, to my big root. We will decide later what had best be done with him.
The ivy and the poplar carry the dog behind the oak's trunk.
Is that done? Well, now that we are rid of this inconvenience witness, of this renegade, let us deliberate in accordance with justice and truth. I will not conceal from you the deep and painful nature of my emotion. This is the first time that it is given to us to judge man and make him feel our power. I do not think that after the harm which he has done us, after the monstrous injustice which we have suffered, there can remain the least doubt as to the sentence that awaits him.
No.
No doubt at all.
Hanging, death, the injustice has been too great. The abuse too wicked. It has lasted too long. Crush him,
Eat him.
at once.
Here
and
now.
Tyltyl to the cat.
What's the matter with them? Are they displeased?
Don't be alarmed. They are a little annoyed because spring is late. Leave it to me. I will settle it all.
This unanimity was inevitable. We must now decide, in order to avoid reprisals, which form of execution will be the most practical, the easiest, the quickest, and the safest, which will leave the fewest accusing traces when man finds the little bodies in the forest.
What is all this about? What is he driving at? I am getting tired of this. He has got the bluebird. Let him hand it over.
The bull, coming forward.
The most practical and the surest way is a good butt with the horns in the pit of the stomach. Shall I go at him?
Who speaks?
It's the bull.
It would be better to keep quiet. I won't meddle with it. I have all the grass to browse in the field which you can see down there in the blue light of the moon. I have quite enough to do.
I also, however, I agree to everything beforehand.
I can offer my highest branch to hang them on.
And I the slip knot.
And I the 4 planks for their little coffin.
And I a perpetual grant of a tomb.
The simplest way would be to drown them in one of my rivers. I will take charge of them.
The lime tree, in a conciliatory tone.
Come. Is it really necessary to go to such extremities? They are very young. We could quite simply prevent them from doing any harm by keeping them prisoners in an enclosure, which I will undertake to form by planting myself all around.
Who speaks? I seem to recognize the honeyed accents of the lime tree.
Yes, it's he.
So there is a renegade among us, as among the animals. Hitherto, we have only had to deplore the disloyalty of the fruit trees, but they are not real trees.
The pig, rolling his small eyes gluttonously.
I think we should first eat the little girl. She ought to be very tender.
What's he saying? Just wait a bit, you.
I don't know what is the matter with them, but things are beginning to look badly.
Silence! What we have to decide is which of us shall have the honor of striking the first blow. We shall ward off from our tops the greatest danger that has threatened us since the birth of man.
That honor falls to you, our king and our patriarch.
Is that the Fir-Tree speaking? Alas, I am too old. I am blind and infirm, and my numbed arms no longer a baby. No to you, brother evergreen, ever upright, to you who have witnessed the birth of most of these trees, to you the glory, in default of myself, of the noble act of our deliverance.
I thank you, venerable father, but as I shall in any case have the honor of burying the 2 victims, I should be afraid of arousing the just jealousy of my colleagues, and I think that next to ourselves, the oldest and the worthiest and the one that owns the best club is the beach.
You know, I am worm-eaten, and my club is no longer to be relied upon. But the elm and the cypress have powerful weapons. I should be only too pleased, but I can hardly stand upright. A mole twisted my great toe last night.
As for me, I am ready, but like my brother the Fir-Tree, I shall have, if not the privilege of burying them, at least the advantage of weeping over their tomb. It would be an unlawful plurality of offices. Ask the poplar.
Me? Are you serious? Why, my wood is more tender than the flesh of a child. And besides, I don't know what's the matter with me. I'm shivering with fever. Just look at my leaves. I must have caught a cold at sunrise this morning.
The oak, bursting out with indignation.
You are afraid of men? Even those unprotected and unarmed little children inspire you with the mysterious terrors which has always made us the slaves that we are. Enough of this. Things being as they are, and the opportunity unequaled, I shall go forth, alone, old, crippled, trembling, blind as I am, against the hereditary enemy. Where is he?
Groping with his stick, he moves toward Tyltyl. Tyltyl, taking his knife from his pocket.
It's me he's after, that old one with his big stick.
All the trees, uttering a cry of alarm at the sight of the knife, they step in between and hold back the oak.
The knife! Take care! The knife!
The oak, struggling.
Let me be. What does it matter? The knife of the axe. Who's holding me back? What? Are you all here? What? You all want to?
Flinging down his stick.
Well, so be it. Shame upon us. Let the animals deliver us.
That's right. I'll see to it. And with one blow of the horns.
The ox, holding him back by the tail.
What are you doing? Don't be a fool. It's a bad business. It will end badly. It is we who will pay for it. Do let be. It's the wild animals' business.
No, no. It's my business. Wait and see. Look here, hold me back, or there will be an accident.
Tyltyl, to Mytil, who is uttering piercing screams.
Don't be afraid. Stand behind me. I have my knife.
He has plenty of pluck, the little chap.
So you've made up your minds? It's me you're going for?
Why, of course, my little man. You've taken long enough to see it.
You can say your prayers. Your last hour has come. But don't hide the little girl. I want to feast my eyes on her. I'm going to eat her first.
What have I done to you?
Nothing at all, my little man. Eaten my little brother, my 2 sisters, my 3 uncles, my aunt, my grandpapa, and my grandmama. Wait, wait, when you are down, you shall see that I have teeth also.
And I hoofs.
The horse, haughtily pawing the ground. You shall see what you shall see. Would you rather that I tore you with my teeth, or knocked you down with a kick? He moves ostentatiously toward Tyltyl, who faces him and raises his knife. Suddenly the horse, seized with panic, turns and rushes away.
Ah, no, that's not fair. That's against the rules. He's defending himself.
The cock, unable to hide his admiration.
I don't care. The little chap's full of grit.
The pig, to the bear and the wolf.
Let us all rush on them together. I will support you from the rear. We will throw them down and share the little girl when she is on the ground.
Divert their attention in front. I'm going to make a turning movement.
He goes round Tyltyl, whom he attacks from behind and half overthrows.
You brute!
He raises himself on one knee, brandishing his knife and doing his best to cover his little sister, who utters yells of distress. Seeing him half overturned, all the animals and trees come up and try to hit him. Tyltyl calls distractedly for assistance.
Help! Help! Tylo! Tylo! Where's the cat? Tylo! Tylette! Come, come!
The cat, hypocritically, holding aloof.
I can't come. I have sprained my paw.
Tyltyl, warding off the blows and defending himself as best he can.
Help! Tylo! Tylo! I can't hold out. There are too many of them. The bear, the pig, the donkey, the ass, the fir-tree, the beech. Tylo! Tylo! Tylo!
Dragging his broken bonds after him, the dog leaps from behind the trunk of the oak and, elbowing his way through trees and animals, flings himself before Tyltyl, whom he defends furiously. The dog, distributing great bites.
Here, my little god, don't be afraid. Have at them. I know how to use my teeth. Here, there's one for you, bear, and your fat hams. Now then, who wants some more? Here, that's for the pig, and that's for the horse, and that's for the bull's tail. There, I've torn the beech's trousers and the oak's petticoat. The fir-tree's making tracks. Whew, it's warm work.
Tyltyl overcome.
I'm done for. The cypress has caught me a great blow on the head.
Ow! That's the willow. He's broken my paw.
They're coming back. They're charging down upon us all together. This time it's the wolf.
Wait till I give him one for himself.
Fool, our brother. His father drowned your 7 puppies.
Quite right, and a good thing, too. It was because they looked like you.
Renegade,
idiot,
traitor,
felon,
simpleton, Judas.
Leave him.
He's a dead man.
Come over to us.
The dog, drunk with ardor and devotion.
Never, never, I alone against all of you. Never, never. True to the gods, to the best, to the greatest.
To Tyltyl.
Take care, there's the bear. Beware of the bull. I'll jump at his throat. Ow! Ah! That's a kick. The ass has broken 2 of my teeth.
I'm done for, Tylo. Ah! That was a blow from the elm. Look, my hand's bleeding. That's the wolf or the pig.
Wait, my little god. Let me kiss you. There, a good lick. That will do you good. Keep behind me. They dare not come again. Yes, though. Here they are, coming back. This time is serious. We must stand firm.
Tyltyl, dropping to the ground.
No, I can hold out no longer.
The dog, listening.
They are coming. I hear them. I sent them.
Where? Who?
There, it's Light. She has found us. Saved, my little king. Kiss me. We are saved. Look, they're alarmed. They're retreating. They're afraid.
Light, come quick, hurry. They have rebelled. They are all against us.
Enter Light. As she comes forward, the dawn rises over the forest, which becomes light.
What is it? What has happened? But my poor boy, didn't you know? Turn the diamond. They will return into silence and obscurity, and you will no longer perceive their hidden feelings.
Tyltyl turns the diamond. Immediately the souls of all the trees rush back into the trunks, which close again. The souls of the animals also disappear, and a peaceful cow and sheep, etc., are seen browsing in the distance. The forest becomes harmless once more. Tyltyl looks around him in amazement.
Where are they? What was the matter with them? Were they mad?
No, they are always like that, but we do not know it because we do not see it. I told you so before. It is dangerous to wake them when I am not there.
Tyltyl, wiping his knife.
Well, but for the dog, and if I had not had my knife, I would never have believed that they were so wicked.
You see that man is all alone against all in this world.
Are you very badly hurt, my little god?
Nothing serious. As for Mytil, they have not touched her. But you, my dear Tylo, your mouth is all over blood, and your paw is broken.
It is not worth speaking of. It won't show tomorrow. But it was a tough fight.
The cat, appearing from behind a thicket, limping.
I should think so. The ox caught me a blow with his horns in the stomach. You can't see the marks, but it's very painful. And the oak broke my paw.
I should like to know which one.
Mytil, stroking the cat.
My poor Tylette, did he really? Where were you? I did not see you.
The cat, hypocritically.
Mummy dear, I was wounded at the first, while attacking that horrid pig who wanted to eat you. And then the oak gave me a great blow which struck me senseless.
The dog, to the cat, between his teeth.
As for you, I want a word with you presently. It will keep.
The cat, plaintively to Mytil.
Mummy dear, he's insulting me. He wants to hurt me.
Mytil to the dog.
Leave him alone, will you, you ugly beast?
They all go out. Curtain. End of Act 3, Scene 2.
Act 4, Scene 1 of The Bluebird by Maurice MAETERLINCK, translated by Alexander Teixeira de Mattos. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Before the curtain. The curtain represents beautiful clouds. Enter Tyltyl, Mytil, Light, the dog, the cat, bread, fire, sugar, water, and milk.
I believe we have the bluebird this time. I ought to have thought of it before, but the idea came to me, like a ray from the sky, this morning only, when I recovered my strength in the dawn. We are at the entrance to the enchanted palaces, where all men's joys, all men's happinesses, are gathered together in the charge of fate.
Are there many of them? Shall we have any? Are they little?
Some are little, and some are great. Some are coarse, and some are delicate. Some are very beautiful, and others not so pleasant to look upon. But the ugliest were expelled from the garden some time ago, and took refuge with the Miseries. For we must not forget that the Miseries inhabit an adjoining cave, which communicates with the garden of happiness, and is separated from it only by a sort of vapour or fine veil, lifted at every moment by the winds that blow from the heights of justice or from the depths of eternity. What we have now to do is to organize ourselves and take certain precautions. Generally the joys are very good, but still there are some of them that are more dangerous and treacherous than the greatest miseries.
I have an idea. If they are dangerous and treacherous, would it not be better for us all to wait at the door, so that we may lend a hand to the children should they be obliged to fly?
Not at all, not at all. I mean to go everywhere with my little gods. Let those who are afraid remain at the door. We have no need...
Looking at bread.
Of cowards.
Looking at the cat.
Or traitors.
I'm going. I hear it's great fun. They dance all the time.
Do they have any eating as well?
Water moaning.
I have never known the smallest happiness. I should like to see some at last.
Hold your tongues. Who asked your opinions? This is what I have decided. The dog, bread, and sugar shall go with the children. Water shall stay outside, because she is too cold, and Fire, because he is too turbulent. I strongly urge Milk to remain at the door, because he is so impressionable. As for the cat, he can do as he likes.
I shall take the opportunity of calling on the chief Miseries of my acquaintance, who lives next door to the Joys.
And you, Light? Aren't you coming?
I cannot go into the Joys like this. Most of them cannot endure me. But I have here the thick veil with which I cover myself when I visit happy people.
She unfolds the long veil and wraps herself in it carefully.
Not a ray of mine, you, must startle them, for there are many happinesses that are afraid and are not happy. There, like this, even the ugliest and coarsest of them will have nothing to fear.
The curtain opens and discloses the next scene. End of Act 4, Scene 1.
Act 4, Scene 2, The Palace of Happiness, of The Bluebird, by Maurice MAETERLINCK, translated by Alexander Teixeira de Mattos. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. When the curtain of clouds opens, the stage represents, in the forefront of the palace, a sort of hall formed of tall marble columns, between which hang heavy purple draperies, supported by golden ropes, and concealing all the background. The architecture suggests the most sensual and sumptuous moments of the Venetian or Flemish Renaissance, as seen in the pictures of Veronese, or Rubens, with garlands, horns of plenty, fringes, vases, statues, gildings, lavishly distributed on every side. In the middle stands a massive and marvellous table of jasper and silver gilt, laden with candlesticks, glass, gold and silver plate, and fabulous viands. Around the table, the biggest luxuries of the earth sit eating, drinking, shouting, singing, tossing and lolling about, or sleeping among the haunches of venison, the miraculous fruits, the overturned jars and ewers. They are enormously, incredibly fat and red in the face, covered with velvet and brocade, crowned with gold and pearls and precious stones. Beautiful female slaves incessantly bring decorated dishes and foaming beverages. Vulgar, blatantly hilarious music, in which the brasses predominate. The stage is bathed in a red and heavy light. Tyltyl, Mytil, the dog, bread, and sugar are a little awestruck at first, and crowd round Light in the foreground, to the right. The cat, without a word, walks to the background, also to the right, lifts a dark curtain, and disappears.
Who are those fat gentlemen enjoying themselves and eating such a lot of good things?
They are the biggest luxuries of the earth, the ones that can be seen with the naked eye. It is possible, though not very likely, that the bluebird may have strayed among them for a moment. That is why you must not turn the diamond yet. For form's sake, we will begin by searching this part of the hall.
Can we go up to them?
Certainly. They are not ill-natured, although they are vulgar and usually rather ill-bred.
What beautiful cakes they have!
And such game, and sausage, and legs of lamb, and calf's liver. There is nothing nicer or lovelier in the world than liver.
Except quartern loaves made of fine white flour. They have splendid ones. How lovely they are, how lovely they are.
I beg your pardon, I beg your pardon. I beg 1,000 pardons. Allow me, allow me. I would not like to hurt anybody's feelings, but are you forgetting that sweetmeats, which form the glory of that table, and which, if I may say so, surpass in grandeur and magnificence all that exists in this hall, or perhaps anywhere else?
How pleased and happy they look, and they are shouting, and laughing, and singing. I believe they've seen us.
A dozen of the biggest luxuries have risen from the table and now, holding their stomachs in their hands, advance laboriously towards the children.
Have no fear. They are very affable. They will probably invite you to dinner. Do not accept. Do not accept anything, lest you should forget your mission.
What? Not even a tiny cake? They look so good, so fresh, so well iced with sugar, covered with candied fruits, and brimming over with cream.
They are dangerous, and would break your will. A man should know how to sacrifice something to the duty he is performing. Refuse politely, but firmly.
The biggest of the luxuries, holding out his hand to Tyltyl.
How do you do, Tyltyl?
Tyltyl surprised.
Why, do you know me? Who are you?
I am the biggest of the luxuries. The luxury of being rich, and I come in the name of my brothers to beg you and your family to honor our endless repast with your presence. You will find yourself surrounded by all that is best among the real, big luxuries of this earth. Allow me to introduce to you the chief of them. Here is my son-in-law, the luxury of being a landowner who has a stomach shaped like a pear. This is the luxury of satisfied vanity who has such a nice, puffy face.
The luxury of satisfied vanity gives a patronizing nod.
These are the luxury of drinking when you are not thirsty, and the luxury of eating when you are not hungry. They're twins, and their legs are made of macaroni.
They bow, staggering.
Here are the luxury of knowing nothing, who is as deaf as a post, and the luxury of understanding nothing, who is as blind as a Beth. Here the luxury of doing nothing, and the luxury of sleeping more than necessary, Their hands are made of breadcrumb, and their eyes of peach jelly. Lastly, here is fat Laughter. His mouth is split from ear to ear, and he is irresistible.
Fat Laughter bows, writhing and holding his sides. Tyltyl, pointing to a luxury who is standing a little on one side.
And who is that one who dares not come up to us and who is turning his back?
Do not ask about him. He's a little awkward, and it's not fit to be introduced to children.
Seizing Tyltyl's hands.
But come along. They're beginning the banquet all over again. It is the 12th time since this morning. We're only waiting for you. Do you hear all the revelers calling and shouting for you? I cannot introduce you to all of them. There are so many of them.
Offering his arm to the two children.
Allow me to lead you to the 2 seats of honor.
No, thank you very much, Mr. Luxury. I am so sorry I can't come for the moment. We are in a great hurry. We are looking for the blue bird. You don't happen to know, I suppose, where he is hiding?
The blue bird? Wait a bit. Yes, I remember. Someone was telling me about him the other day. He is a bird that is not good to eat, I believe. At any rate, he has never figured on our table. That means that we have a poor opinion of him. But don't trouble. We have much better things. You shall share our life. You shall see all that we do.
What do you do?
Why, we occupy ourselves incessantly in doing nothing. We never have a moment's rest. We have to drink, we have to eat, we have to sleep. It's most engrossing.
Is it amusing?
Why, yes. It needs must be. It's all there is on this earth.
Do you think so?
The Luxury, pointing to Light, aside to Tyltyl.
Who is that ill-bred young person?
During the whole of the preceding conversation, a crowd of luxuries of the second order have been busying themselves with the dog, sugar, and bread, and have dragged them to the orgy. Tyltyl suddenly sees them seated fraternally at the table with their hosts, eating, drinking, and flinging themselves about wildly.
Why, look, Light, they are sitting at the table.
Call them back, or this will have a bad end.
Tilo! Here, Tilo! Come here at once, will you? Do you hear? And you too, Sugar and Bread, who told you to leave me? What are you doing there without permission?
Bread, speaking with his mouth full.
Can't you keep a civil tongue in your mouth?
What? Is Bread daring to be impertinent? Why, what's come over you? And you, Tilo? Is that the way you obey? Now then, come here on your knees, and look sharp.
The dog, muttering, from the end of the table.
When I'm eating, I'm at home to nobody, and I hear nothing.
Sugar, honey-mouthed.
Pardon us, we could not possibly leave such charming hosts so abruptly. They would be offended.
You see, they're setting you an example. Come, we are waiting for you. We won't hear of a refusal. We shall have to resort to a gentle violence. Come on, you luxuries, help me. Let's push them to the table by force, so that they may be happy in spite of themselves.
All the luxuries, uttering cries of joy and skipping about as nimbly as they are able, drag the children, who struggle, while fat Laughter seizes Light vigorously round the waist.
Turn the diamond. It is time.
Tyltyl obeys Light's order. Forthwith the stage is lit up with an ineffably pure, divinely roseate, harmonious and ethereal brightness. The heavy ornaments in the foreground, the thick red hangings, become unfastened and disappear, revealing an immense and magnificent hall, a sort of cathedral of gladness and serenity, tall, innocent, and almost transparent, whose endless fabric rests upon innumerable long and slender, limpid and blissful columns, suggesting the architecture of the Palladian churches, or certain drawings by Capriccio, notably the presentation of the Virgin in the Uffizi gallery. The table of the orgy melts away without leaving a trace. The velvets, the brocades, the garlands of the luxuries rise before the luminous gust that invades the temple, tear asunder and fall, together with the grinning masks, at the feet of the astounded revellers. These become visibly deflated, like burst bladders, exchange glances, blink their eyes in the unknown rays that hurt them, and, seeing themselves at last as they really are, that is to say, naked, hideous, flabby, and lamentable, they begin to utter yells of shame and dismay, amid which those of fat laughter are clearly distinguishable above all the rest. The luxury of understanding nothing alone remains perfectly calm, while his friends rush about madly, trying to flee, to hide themselves in corners which they hope to find dark. But there is not a shadow left in the dazzling room, and so the majority, in their despair, decide to pass through the threatening curtain which, in an angle on the right, closes the vault of the cave of miseries. Each time that one of them, in his panic, raises a skirt of the curtain, a storm of oaths, imprecations, and maledictions is heard to issue from the hollow depths of the cave. As for the dog, bread, and sugar, they hang their heads, join the group of the children, and hide behind them very sheepishly. Tyltyl, watching the luxuries flying.
Goodness, how ugly they are! Where are they going?
I really believe that they have lost their heads. They are going to take refuge with the miseries, where I very much fear that they will be kept for good.
Tyltyl, looking around him, wonderstruck.
Oh, what a beautiful hall! What a beautiful hall! Where are we?
We have not moved. It is your eyes that see differently. We now behold the truth of things, and we shall perceive the soul of the joys that endure the brightness of the diamond.
How beautiful it is, and what lovely weather! It is just like midsummer. Hello! It looks as though people were coming to talk to us.
The halls begin to fill with angel forms that seem to be emerging from a long slumber and glide harmoniously between the columns. They are clad in shimmering dresses of soft and subtle shades, rose awakening, water's smile, amber dew, blue of dawn, etc.
Here come some amiable and curious joys who will direct us.
Do you know them?
Yes, I know them all. I often come to them, without their knowing who I am.
Oh, what a lot of them there are! They are crowding from every side.
There were many more of them once. The luxuries have done them great harm.
No matter, there are a good few of them left.
You will see plenty of others, as the influence of the diamond spreads through the halls. There are many more happinesses on earth than people think, but the generality of men do not discover them.
Here are some little ones. Let us run and meet them.
It is unnecessary. Those which interest us will pass this way. We have no time to make the acquaintance of all the rest.
A troop of little happinesses, frisking and bursting with laughter, run up from the back of the halls and dance round the children in a ring.
How pretty, how very pretty they are! Where do they come from? Who are they?
They are the children's happinesses.
Can one speak to them?
It would be no use. They sing, they dance, they laugh, but they do not talk yet.
Tyltyl skipping about.
How do you do? How do you do? Oh, look at that fat one laughing! What pretty cheeks they have! What pretty frocks they have! Are they all rich here?
Why, no. Here, as everywhere, there are many more poor than rich.
Where are the poor ones?
You can't distinguish them. A child's happiness is always arrayed in all that is most beautiful in heaven and upon earth.
Tyltyl unable to restrain himself.
I should like to dance with them.
It is absolutely impossible. We have no time. I see that they have not the bluebird. Besides, they are in a hurry. You see, they have already passed. They too have no time to waste, for childhood is very short.
Another troop of happinesses, a little taller than the last, rush into the hall, singing at the top of their voice. There they are, there they are, they see us, and dance a merry fling around the children, at the end of which the one who appears to be the chief of the little band goes up to Tyltyl with hand outstretched.
How do you do, Tyltyl?
Another one who knows me.
To Light.
I am getting known wherever I go.
To the happiness.
Who are you?
Don't you recognize me? I'll wager that you don't recognize anyone here.
Tyltyl a little embarrassed.
Why, no, I don't know. I don't remember seeing any of you.
There, do you hear? I was sure of it. He has never seen us.
All the other happinesses burst out laughing.
Why, my dear Tyltyl, we are the only things you do know. We are always around you. We eat, drink, wake up, breathe, and live with you.
Oh, yes, just so. I know, I remember. But I should like to know what your names are.
I can see that you know nothing. I am the chief of the happinesses of your home, and all these are the other happinesses that live there.
Then there are happinesses in my home?
All the happinesses burst out laughing.
You heard him. All the happinesses in his home. Why, you little wretch, it is crammed with happinesses in every nook and cranny. We laugh, we sing, we create enough joy to knock down the walls and lift the roof. But do what we may, you see nothing and you hear nothing. I hope that in future you will be a little more sensible. Meantime, you shall shake hands with the more noteworthy of us. Then when you reach home again, you will recognize them more easily, and at the end of a fine day, you will know how to encourage them with a smile, to thank them with a pleasant word, for they really do all they can to make your life easy and delightful. Let me introduce myself first. The happiness of being well at your service. I am not the prettiest, but I am the most important. Will you know me again? This is the happiness of pure air, who is almost transparent. Here is the happiness of loving one's parents, who is clad in grey and always a little sad because no one ever looks at him. Here are the happiness of the blue sky, who of course is dressed in blue, and the happiness of the forest, who also of course is clad in green. You will see him every time you go to the window. Here again is the good happiness of sunny hours, who is diamond-coloured, and this is the happiness of spring, who is bright emerald.
And are you as fine as that every day?
Why, yes, it is Sunday every day in every house when people open their eyes. And then when evening comes, here is the happiness of the sunsets, who is grander than all the kings in the world, and who is followed by the happiness of seeing the stars rise, who is gilded like a god of old. Then when the weather breaks, here are the happiness of the rain, who is covered with pearls, and the happiness of the winter fire, who opens his beautiful purple mantle to frozen hands. And I have not mentioned the best among us, because he is nearly a brother of the great limpid joys whom you will see presently. His name is the happiness of innocent thoughts, and he is the brightest of us all. And then here are, but really there are too many of them, we should never have done. And I must first send word to the great joys, who are right at the back near the gates of heaven, and who have not yet heard of your arrival. I will send the happiness of running barefoot in the dew, who is the nimblest of us.
To the happiness of running barefoot in the dew, who comes forward capering.
Off you go.
Light to Tyltyl.
In the meantime, you might inquire about the bluebird. It is just possible that the chief happiness of your home knows where he is.
Where is he?
He doesn't know where the bluebird is.
All the happinesses of the home burst out laughing. Tyltyl vexed.
No, I do not know. There is nothing to laugh at.
Fresh bursts of laughter.
Come, don't be angry, and let us be serious. He doesn't know. Well, what do you expect? He is no more absurd than the majority of men. The little happiness of running barefoot in the dew has told the great joys, and they are coming towards us.
Tall and beautiful angelic figures, clad in shimmering dresses, come slowly forward.
How beautiful they are! Why are they not laughing? Are they not happy?
It is not when one laughs that one is really happy.
Who are they?
They are the great joys.
Do you know their names?
Of course. We often play with them. Here, first of all, before the others, is the great joy of being just, who smiles each time an injustice is repaired. I am too young. I have never seen her smile yet. Behind her is the joy of being good, who is the happiest, but the saddest, and it is very difficult to keep her from going to the miseries whom she would like to console. For if she left us, we should be almost as miserable as the miseries themselves. On the right is the joy of fame, next to the joy of thinking. After her comes the joy of understanding, who is always looking for her brother, the luxury of understanding nothing.
But I have seen her brother. He went to the miseries with the big luxuries.
I was certain of it. He has turned out badly. Keeping evil company has corrupted him entirely. But do not speak of it to his sister. She will want to go and look for him, and we should lose one of our most beautiful joys. Here among the greatest joys is the joy of seeing what is beautiful, who daily adds a few rays to the light that reigns amongst us.
And there, far away in the golden clouds, the one whom I can hardly see when I stand as high as I can on tiptoe?
That is the great joy of loving. But do what you will, you are ever so much too small to see her altogether.
And over there, right at the back, those who are veiled and do not come near?
Those are the joys whom men do not yet know.
What do the others want with us? Why are they standing aside?
It is before a new joy who is arriving, perhaps the purest that we have here.
Who is it?
Don't you recognize her yet? But take a better look at her. Open your 2 eyes down to the very heart of your soul. She has seen you! She has seen you! She runs up to you holding out her arms. It is your mother's joy. It is the palest joy of maternal love.
The other joys, who have run up from every side, acclaim the joy of maternal love with their cheers and then fall back before her in silence.
Tyltyl and Mytil, what? Do I find you here? I never expected it. I was very lonely at home, and here are you two climbing to that heaven where the souls of all mothers beam with joy. But first, kisses, heaps and heaps of kisses. Into my arms, the two of you. There is nothing on earth that gives greater happiness. Tyltyl, aren't you laughing? Nor you either, Mytil? Don't you know your mother's love when you see it? Why, look at me. Are these not my eyes, my lips, my arms?
Yes, yes, I recognize them, but I did not know. You are like Mummy, but you are much prettier.
Why, of course I have stopped growing old, and every day brings me fresh strength and youth and happiness. Each of your smiles makes me younger by a year. At home that does not show, but here everything is seen, and it is the truth.
Tyltyl, wonderstruck, gazing at her and kissing her by turns.
And that beautiful dress of yours, what is it made of? Is it silk, silver, or pearls?
No, it is made of kisses and caresses and loving looks. Each kiss you give me adds a ray of moonlight or sunshine to it.
How funny! I should never have thought that you were so rich. Where used you to hide it? Was it in the cupboard of which Daddy has the key?
No, I always wear it, but people do not see it, because people see nothing when their eyes are closed. All mothers are rich when they love their children. There are no poor mothers, no ugly ones, no old ones. Their love is always the most beautiful of the joys, and when they seem most sad, it needs but a kiss which they receive or give to turn all their tears into stars in the depth of their eyes.
Tyltyl, looking at her with astonishment.
Why, yes, it's true, your eyes are filled with stars, and they are really your eyes, only they are much more beautiful. And this is your hand, too, with the little ring on it. It even has the burn which you gave it one evening when lighting the lamp. But it is much whiter, and how delicate the skin is! There seems to be light flowing through it. Doesn't it do any work like the one at home?
Why, yes, it is the very same. Did you never see that it becomes quite white and fills with light the moment it fondles you?
It's wonderful, Mummy. You have the same voice also, but you speak much better than you do at home.
At home, one has too much to do and there is no time. But what one does not say, one hears all the same. Now that you have seen me, will you know me again in my torn dress when you go back to the cottage tomorrow?
I don't want to go back. As you are here, I want to stay also, as long as you remain.
But it's just the same thing. I am down below, we are all down below. You have come up here only to realize and to learn, once and for all, how to see me when you see me down below. Do you understand, Tyltyl dear? You believe yourself in heaven, but heaven is wherever you and I kiss each other. There are not two mothers, and you have no other, Every child has only one, and it is always the same one, and always the most beautiful. But you have to know her, and to know how to look. But how did you manage to come up here, and to find a road for which men have been seeking ever since they began to dwell upon the earth?
Tyltyl, pointing to Light, who, discreetly, has drawn a little to one side.
She brought me.
Who is she?
Light.
I have never seen her. I was told that she was very fond of you both and very kind. But why does she hide herself? Does she never show her face?
Oh, yes, but she is afraid that the joys might be frightened if they saw too clearly.
But doesn't she know that we are waiting only for her?
Calling the other great joys.
Come, come, sisters! Come quickly, all of you! Light has come to visit us at last.
A stir among the great joys, who draw nearer, with cries of, Light is here! Light! Light! The joy of understanding, thrusting all the others aside, comes and embraces Light.
You are Light, and we did not know it. And we have been waiting for you for years and years and years. Do you recognize me? I am the joy of understanding, who have been seeking you for so long. We are very happy, but we cannot see beyond ourselves.
The joy of being just embraces Light in her turn.
Do you recognize me? I am the joy of being just, who have besought you so long. We are very happy, but we cannot see beyond our shadows.
The joy of seeing what is beautiful also embraces Light.
Do you recognize me? I am the joy of seeing what is beautiful, who have loved you so dearly. We are very happy, but we cannot see beyond our dreams.
Come, sister, come. Do not keep us waiting any longer. We are strong enough. We are pure enough. Put aside those veils which still conceal from us the last truth and the last happinesses. See, all my sisters are kneeling at your feet. You are our queen and our reward.
Light, drawing her veils closer.
Sisters, my beautiful sisters, I am obeying my master. The hour is not yet come. It will strike, perhaps, and I shall return without fear and without shadow. Farewell. Rise and let us kiss once more, like sisters lost and found, while waiting for the day that will soon appear.
Maternal love, embracing Light.
You have been very good to my poor little ones.
I shall always be good to those who love one another.
The joy of understanding, going up to Light.
Let the last kiss be laid upon my forehead.
They exchange a long kiss, and, when they separate and raise their heads, tears are seen to stand in their eyes. Tyltyl surprised.
Why are you crying?
Looking at the other joys.
I say, you are crying too. But why have all of you tears in your eyes?
Hush, dear.
Curtain. End of Act 4, Scene 2.
Act 5, Scene 1 of The Bluebird by Maurice MAETERLINCK, translated by TEIXEIRA de MATTOS. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Before the curtain. Enter Tyltyl, Mytil, Light, the dog, the cat, bread, fire, sugar, water, and milk.
I have received a note from the fairy, Berilyuna, telling me that the blue bird is probably here.
Where?
Here, in the graveyard behind that wall. It appears that one of the dead in the graveyard is hiding it in his tomb. We must find out which one it is. We shall have to pass them under review.
Under review? How is that done?
It is very simple. At midnight, so as not to disturb them too greatly, you will turn the diamond. We shall see them come out of the ground, or else we shall see those who do not come out, lying in their tombs.
Will they not be angry?
Not at all. They will not even know. They do not like being disturbed, but as it is their custom, in any case, to come out at midnight, that will not inconvenience them.
Why are bread, sugar, and milk so pale, and why do they say nothing?
Milk staggering.
I feel I'm going to turn.
Light, aside to Tyltyl.
Do not mind them. They are afraid of the dead.
Fire, frisking about.
I'm not afraid of them. I am used to burning them. Time was when I burnt them all. That was much more amusing than nowadays.
And why is Tilo trembling? Is he afraid too?
I'm not trembling. I am never afraid. But if you went away, I should go too.
And has the cat nothing to say?
I know what's what.
Tyltyl to Light.
Are you coming with us?
No. It is better that I should remain at the gate of the graveyard, with the things and the animals. Some of them would be too frightened, and I fear that the others would misbehave. Fire, in particular, would want to burn the dead, as of old, and that is no longer done. I shall leave you alone with Mytil.
And may not Tilo stay with us?
Yes, I shall stay. I shall stay here. I want to stay with my little god.
It is impossible. The fairy gave formal orders. Besides, there is nothing to fear.
Very well. It makes no difference. If they are vicious, my little god, all you have to do is this. And you shall see. It will be just as in the forest. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Come. Goodbye, dear children. I shall not be far away.
She kisses the children.
Those who love me and whom I love always find me again.
To the things and the animals.
This way, all of you.
She goes out with the things and the animals. The children remain alone in the middle of the stage. The curtain opens and discloses the next scene. End of Act 5, Scene 1. Act 5, Scene 1 of The Bluebird by Maurice MAETERLINCK, translated by TEIXEIRA. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Graveyard. It is night. The moon is shining on a country graveyard. Numerous tombstones, grassy mounds, wooden crosses, stone slabs, etc. Tyltyl and Mytil are standing by a short stone pillar.
I'm frightened.
Tyltyl not too much at his ease.
I am never frightened.
I say, are the dead wicked?
Why no, they're not alive.
Have you ever seen one?
Yes, once long ago when I was very young.
What was it like, say?
Quite white, very still and very cold, and it didn't talk.
Are we going to see them, say?
Well, of course, Light said so.
Where are they?
Here, under the grass, or under those big stones.
Are they there all the year round?
Yes.
Mytil pointing to the slabs.
Are those the doors of their houses?
Yes.
Do they go out when it's fine?
They can only go out at night.
Why?
Because they are in their shirts.
Do they go out also when it rains?
When it rains, they stay at home.
Is it nice in their homes, say?
They say it's very cramped.
Have they any little children?
Why, yes, they have all those that die.
And what do they live on?
They eat roots.
Shall we see them?
Of course, we see everything when I turn the diamond.
And what will they say?
They will say nothing, as they don't talk.
Why don't they talk?
Because they have nothing to say.
Why have they nothing to say?
You're a nuisance.
When will you turn the diamond?
You heard Light say that I was to wait until midnight because that disturbs them less.
Why does that disturb them less?
Because that is when they go out to take the air.
Is it not midnight yet?
Do you see the church clock?
Yes, I can even see the small hand.
Well, midnight is just going to strike. There, do you hear?
The clock strikes 12.
I want to go away.
Not now. I am going to turn the diamond.
No, don't. I want to go away. I am so frightened, little brother. I am terribly frightened.
But there is no danger.
I don't want to see the dead. I don't want to see them.
Very well, you shall not see them. Shut your eyes.
Mytil, clinging to Tyltyl's clothes.
Tyltyl, I can't stay. No, I can't possibly. They're going to come out of the ground.
Don't tremble like that. They will only come out for a moment.
But you're trembling too. They will be awful.
It is time. The hour is passing.
Tyltyl turns the diamond. A terrifying minute of silence and motionlessness elapses, after which slowly the crosses totter, the mouths open, the slabs rise up. Mytil covering against Tyltyl.
They are coming out! They are there!
Then from all the gaping tombs there rises gradually an efflorescence, at first frail and timid like steam, then white and virginal and more tufty, more and more tall and plentiful and marvelous. Little by little, irresistibly invading all things, it transforms the graveyard into a sort of fairy-like and nuptial garden, over which rise the first rays of the dawn. The dew glitters, the flowers open their blooms, the wind murmurs in the leaves, the bees hum, the birds wake and flood the air with the first raptures of their hymns to the sun and to life. Stunned and dazzled, Tyltyl and Mytil, holding each other by the hand, take a few steps among the flowers, while they seek for the trace of the tombs. Mytil looking in the grass.
Where are the dead?
Tyltyl looking also.
There are no dead.
Curtain. End of Act 5, Scene 2.
Act 5, Scene 3, The Kingdom of the Future, of The Bluebird by Maurice MAETERLINCK, translated by Alexander TEIXEIRA de MaTTOS. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The immense halls of the Azure Palace, where the children wait that are yet to be born. Infinite perspectives of sapphire columns supporting turquoise vaults. Everything, from the light and the lapis lazuli flagstones, to the shimmering background into which the last arches run and disappear, everything, down to the smallest objects, is of an unreal, intense, fairy-like blue. Only the plinths and capitals of the columns, the keystones, a few seats and circular benches are of white marble or alabaster. To the right between the columns are great opalescent doors. These doors, which time will throw back towards the end of the scene, open upon actual life and the quays of the dawn. Everywhere, harmoniously peopling the hall, is a crowd of children, robed in long azure garments. Some are playing, others strolling to and fro, others talking or dreaming. Many are asleep, many also are working. Between the colonnades, at future inventions, and their tools, their instruments, the apparatus which they are constructing, the plants, flowers, and fruit which they are cultivating or plucking are of the same supernatural and luminous blue as the general atmosphere of the palace. Figures of a taller stature, clad in a paler and more diaphanous azure, figures of a sovereign and silent beauty, move among the children, and would seem to be angels. Enter on the left, as though by stealth, gliding between the columns in the foreground, Tyltyl, Mytil, and Light. Their arrival causes a certain movement among the blue children, who come running up on every hand, form a group around the unwanted visitors, and gaze upon them with curiosity.
Where are Sugar, the cat, and Bread?
They cannot enter here. They would know the future and would not obey.
And the dog?
It is not well either that he should know what awaits him in the course of the ages. I have locked them all up in the vaults of the church.
Where are we?
We are in the kingdom of the future, in the midst of the children who are not yet born. As the diamond allows us to see clearly, in this region which is hidden from men, we shall very probably find the bluebird here.
Certainly, the bird will be blue, since everything here is blue.
Looking all around him.
Heaven, how beautiful it all is!
Look at the children running up.
Are they angry?
Not at all. You can see they are smiling, but they are surprised.
The blue children running up in ever-increasing numbers.
Live children! Come look at the little live children!
Why do they call us the little live children?
Because they themselves are not alive yet.
What are they doing then?
They are awaiting the hour of their birth.
The hour of their birth?
Yes, it is from here that all the children come who are born upon our earth. Each awaits his day. When the fathers and mothers want children, the great doors which you see there, on the right, are opened, and the little ones go down.
What a lot there are! What a lot there are!
There are many more. We do not see them all. There are 30,000 halls like this, all full of them. Just think, there are enough to last to the end of the world. No one could count them.
And those tall blue persons, who are they?
No one exactly knows. They are believed to be guardians. I have heard that they will come upon earth after men, but we are not allowed to ask them.
Why not?
Because it is the earth's secret.
And may one talk to the others, the little ones?
Certainly. You must make friends. Look, there is one who is more curious than the rest. Go up to him. Speak to him.
What shall I say to him?
Whatever you like, as you would to a little playfellow.
Can I shake hands with him?
Of course, he won't hurt you. But come, don't look so constrained. I will leave you alone. You will be more at ease by yourselves. Besides, I want to speak to the tall blue person.
Tyltyl, going up to the blue child and holding out his hand.
How do you do?
Touching the child's blue dress with his finger.
What's that?
The child gravely touching Tyltyl's hat.
And that?
That? That is my hat. Have you no hat?
No, what is it for?
It's to say how do you do with, and then for when it rains or it's cold.
What does that mean, when it's cold?
When you shiver like this, brr, brr. When you blow into your hands and go like this with your arms.
He vigorously beats his arms across his chest.
Is it cold on earth?
Yes, sometimes in the winter when there is no fire.
Why is there no fire?
Because it's expensive and it costs money to buy wood.
What is money?
It's what you pay with.
Oh.
Some people have money and others have none.
Why not?
Because they are not rich. Are you rich? How old are you?
I am going to be born soon. I shall be born in 12 years. Is it nice to be born?
Oh, yes. It's great fun.
How did you manage?
I can't remember. It is so long ago.
They say it's lovely, the earth and the live people.
Yes, it's not bad. There are birds and cakes and toys. Some have them all, but those who have none can look at them.
They tell us that the mothers stand waiting at the door. They are good, aren't they?
Oh, yes. They are better than anything in the world, and the grannies, too. But they die too soon.
They die? What is that?
They go away one evening and do not come back.
Why?
How can one tell? Perhaps because they feel sad.
Has yours gone?
My grandmamma?
Your mamma or your grandmamma, I don't know.
Oh, but it's not the same thing. The grannies go first. That's sad enough. Mine was very kind to me.
What's the matter with your eyes? Are they making pearls?
No, it's not pearls.
What is it then?
It's nothing. It's all that blue which dazzles me a little.
What is that called?
What?
There, that, falling down.
Nothing. It is a little water.
Does it come from the eyes?
Yes, sometimes when one cries.
What does that mean, crying?
I have not been crying. It is the fault of that blue. But if I had cried, it would be the same thing.
Does one often cry?
Not little boys, but little girls do. Don't you cry here?
No, I don't know how.
Well, you will learn. What are you playing with, those great blue wings?
These? That's for the invention which I shall make on earth.
What invention? Have you invented something?
Why, yes, haven't you heard? When I am on earth, I shall have to invent the thing that gives happiness.
Is it good to eat? Does it make noise?
No, you hear nothing.
That's a pity.
I work at it every day. It is almost finished. Would you like to see it?
Very much. Where is it?
There, you can see it from here between those two columns.
A second child coming up to Tyltyl and plucking his sleeve.
Would you like to see mine, say?
Yes, what is it?
The 33 remedies for prolonging life. There, in those blue vials.
A third child stepping out from the crowd.
I will show you a light which nobody knows of.
He lights himself up entirely with an extraordinary flame.
It's rather curious, isn't it?
A fourth child pulling Tyltyl's arm.
Do come and look at my machine, which flies in the air like a bird without wings.
No, no, mine first. It discovers the treasures hidden in the moon.
The children crowding round Tyltyl and Mytil, and all crying together.
No, come and see mine.
No, mine is much finer.
Mine is a wonderful invention.
Oh, mine is made of sugar.
His is no good.
He stole the idea from me.
Amid these disordered exclamations, the live children are dragged toward the blue workshops, where each of the inventors sets his ideal machine going. There ensues a cerulean whirl of wheels, discs, flywheels, driving wheels, pulleys, straps, and strange and as yet unnamed objects shrouded in the bluey mists of the unreal. A crowd of odd and mysterious mechanisms dart forth and hover over the vaults, or crawl at the foot of the columns, while children unfold charts and plans, open books, uncover azure statues, and bring enormous flowers and gigantic fruits that seem formed of sapphires and turquoises. A sixth child, bending under the weight of some colossal blue daisies.
Look at my flowers.
What are they? I do not know them.
They are daisies.
Impossible. They are as big as tables.
And they smell so good.
Tyltyl smelling them.
Wonderful.
They will grow like that when I am on Earth.
When will that be?
In 53 years, 4 months, and 9 days.
2 blue children arrive, carrying, like a lustre hanging on a pole, an incredible bunch of grapes, each larger than a pear. A child carrying the grapes.
What do you say to my fruits?
A bunch of pears?
No, they are grapes. They will all be like that when I am 30. I have found the way.
Another child staggering under a basket of blue apples the size of melons.
And mine. Look at my apples.
But those are melons.
No, they are my apples, and they are not the finest at that. They will be all alike when I'm alive. I have discovered the system.
The child with the melons, wheeling a blue barrel with blue melons bigger than pumpkins.
What do you say to my little melons?
But they are pumpkins.
When I come on Earth, the melons will be splendid. I shall be the gardener to the king of the 3 planets.
The king of the 3 planets?
The great king who for 35 years will bring happiness to the Earth, Mars, and the Moon. You can see him from here.
Where is he?
There, the little boy sleeping at the foot of that column.
On the left?
No, on the right. The one on the left is the child who will bring pure joy to the globe.
How?
By means of ideas which people have not had yet.
And the other, that little fat one with his fingers to his nose, what will he do?
He is to discover the fire that will warm the earth when the sun is paler than now.
And the 2 holding each other by the hand and always kissing, are they brother and sister?
No, they are very comical. They are the lovers.
What is that?
I don't know. Time calls them that to make fun of them. They spend the day looking into each other's eyes, kissing and bidding each other farewell.
Why?
It seems they will not be able to leave together.
And the little pink one who looks so serious and is sucking his thumb, what is he?
It appears that he is to wipe out injustice from the earth.
Oh.
They say it's a tremendous work.
And the little red-haired one, who walks as if he did not see where he's going, is he blind?
Not yet, but he will become so. Look at him well. It seems that he is to conquer death.
What does that mean?
I don't exactly know, but they say it's a great thing.
Tyltyl, pointing to a crowd of children sleeping at the foot of the columns, on the steps, the benches, etc.
And all those asleep. What a number of them there are asleep. Do they do nothing?
They are thinking of something.
Of what?
They do not know yet, but they must take something with them to Earth. We are not allowed to go from here empty-handed.
Who says so?
Time, who stands at the door. You will see when he opens it. He is very tiresome.
Another child, running up from the back of the hall and elbowing his way through the crowd.
How are you, Tyltyl?
Hello. How does he know my name?
The child, who has just run up and who now kisses Tyltyl and Mytil effusively.
How are you? All right? Come, give me a kiss, and you too, Mytil.
It's not surprising that I should know your name, seeing that I shall be your brother. They have only just told me that you were here. I was right at the other end of the hall packing up my ideas. Tell Mummy that I am ready.
What? Are you coming to us?
Certainly, next year on Palm Sunday. Don't tease me too much when I am little. I am very glad to have kissed you both beforehand. Tell Daddy to mend the cradle. Is it comfortable in our home?
Not bad, and Mummy is so kind.
And the food?
That depends. We even have cake sometimes, don't we, Mytil?
On New Year's Day and the 14th of July. Mummy makes them.
What have you got in that bag? Are you bringing us something?
I am bringing 3 illnesses: scarlatina, whooping cough, and measles.
Oh, that's all, is it? And after that, what will you do?
After that, I shall leave you.
It'll hardly be worthwhile coming.
We can't pick and choose.
At that moment, a sort of prolonged, powerful, crystalline vibration is heard to rise and swell. It seems to emanate from the columns and opal doors, which are irradiated by a brighter light than before.
What is that?
That's Time. He is going to open the gates.
A great change comes over the crowd of blue children. Most of them leave their machines and their labors. Numbers of sleepers awake, and all turn their eyes toward the opal doors and go nearer to them. Light joining Tyltyl.
Let us try to hide behind the columns. It will not do for Time to discover us.
Where does that noise come from?
It is the dawn rising. This is the hour when children who are to be born today go down to earth.
How will they go down? Are there ladders?
You shall see. Time is drawing the bolts.
Who is Time?
An old man who comes to call those who are going.
Is he wicked?
No, but he hears nothing. Beg as they may, if it's not their turn, he pushes back all those who try to go.
Are they glad to go?
We are sorry when we are left behind, but we are sad when we go. There! He's opening the doors.
The great opalescent doors turn slowly on their hinges. The sounds of the earth are heard like a distant music. A red and green light penetrates into the hall. Time, a tall old man with a streaming beard, armed with a scythe and hourglass, appears upon the threshold, and the spectator perceives the extremity of the white and gold sails of a galley moored to a sort of quay formed by the rosy mists of the dawn. Time on the threshold.
Are they ready, whose hour has struck?
The children, elbowing their way and running from all sides.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Time, in a gruff voice to the children defiling before him to go out.
One at a time. Once again, there are many more of you than are wanted. It's always the same thing. You can't deceive me.
Pushing back a child.
It's not your turn. Go back and wait till tomorrow. Nor you either. Go in and return in 10 years. A 13th shepherd? There are only 12 wanted. There is no need for more. The days of Theocritus and Virgil are past. More doctors? There are too many already. They are grumbling about it on earth. And where are the engineers? They want an honest man. Only one, as a phenomenon. Where is the honest man? Is it you?
The child nods yes.
You appear to me to be a very poor specimen. Hello, you over there. Not so fast. Not so fast. And you, what are you bringing? Nothing at all? Empty-handed? Then you can't go through. Prepare something, a great crime if you like, or a fine sickness, I don't care. But you must have something.
Catching sight of a little child whom the others are pushing forward, while he resists with all his strength.
Well, what's the matter with you? You know that the hour has come. They want a hero to fight against injustice. You're the one. You must start.
He doesn't want to, sir.
What? He doesn't want to? Where does the little monster think he is? No objections. We have no time to spare.
The child who is being pushed.
No, I don't want to go. I would rather not be born. I would rather stay here.
That is not the question. When the hour comes, it comes. Now then, quick, forward.
Another child stepping forward.
Oh, let me pass. I will go and take his place.
They say that my parents are old and have been waiting for me so long.
None of that. You will start at your proper hour, at your proper time. We should never be done if we listened to you. One wants to go, another refuses. It's too soon or it's too late.
Pushing back some children who have encroached upon the threshold.
Not so near, you children. Back, you inquisitive ones. Those who are not starting have no business outside. You are in a hurry now. Later, when your turn comes, you will be frightened and hang back. Look, there are 4 who are trembling like leaves.
To a child who, on the point of crossing the threshold, suddenly goes back.
Well, what is it? What's the matter?
I have forgotten the box containing the 2 crimes which I shall have to commit.
And I the little pot with my idea for enlightening the crowd.
I have forgotten the graft of my finest pear.
Run quick and fetch them. We have only 612 seconds left. The galley of the Dawn is already flapping her sails to show that she is waiting. You will come too late, and you won't be born. Come, quick, on board with you.
Laying hold of a child who tries to pass between his legs to reach the quay.
Oh, no, not you. This is the 3rd time you've tried to be born before your turn. Don't let me catch you at it again, or you can wait forever with my sister, Eternity, and you know that it's not amusing there. But come, are we ready? Is everyone at his post?
Surveying the children standing on the quay or already seated in the galley.
There is still one missing. It is no use his hiding. I see him in the crowd. You can't deceive me. Come on you, the little fellow whom they call the lover. Say goodbye to your sweetheart.
The 2 children, who are called the lovers, fondly entwined, their faces livid with despair, go up to Time and kneel at his feet.
Mr. Time, let me stay behind with her.
Mr. Time, let me go with him.
Impossible. We have only 394 seconds left.
I would rather not be born.
You cannot choose.
Beseechingly.
Mr. Time, I shall come too late.
I shall be gone before she comes down.
I shall never see him again.
We shall be alone in the world.
All this does not concern me. Address your entreaties to life. I unite and part as I am told.
Seizing one of the children.
Come.
The first child struggling.
No, no, no! She too!
The second child clinging to the clothes of the first.
Leave him with me, leave him.
Come, come. He is not going to die, but to live.
Dragging away the first child.
Come along.
The second child stretching her arms out frantically to the child that is being carried off.
A sign! A sign! Tell me how to find you.
I shall always love you.
I shall be the saddest thing on earth. You will know me by that.
She falls and remains stretched on the ground.
You would do much better to hope. And now, that is all.
Consulting his hourglass.
We have only 63 seconds left.
Last and violent movements among the children departing and remaining. They exchange hurried farewells.
Goodbye, Pierre. Goodbye, Jean.
Have you all you want?
Announce my idea.
Have you got the new turn screw?
Mind you speak of my melon.
Have you forgotten nothing?
Try to know me again.
I shall find you. Don't lose your ideas.
Don't lean too far into space.
Send me your news.
They say one can't.
Oh, do try.
Try to tell us if it's nice. I will come to meet you. I
shall be born on a throne.
Time shaking his keys and his scythe.
Enough! Enough! The anchor's raised.
The sails of the galley pass and disappear. The voices of the children in the galley are heard in the distance.
The earth! The earth! I can see it!
How beautiful it is!
How bright it is!
How big it is!
Then, as though issuing from the depths of the abyss, an extremely distant song of gladness and expectation. ToddHWLight.
What is that? It is not they singing. It sounds like other voices.
Yes, it is the song of the mothers coming out to meet them.
Meanwhile Time closes the opalescent doors. He turns to take a last look at the hall and suddenly perceives Tyltyl, Mytil, and Light. Time, dumbfounded and furious.
What's that? What are you doing here? Who are you? Why are you not blue? How did you get in?
He comes forward, threatening them with his scythe. Light to Tyltyl.
Do not answer. I have the bluebird. He is hidden under my cloak. Let us escape. Turn the diamond. He will lose our traces.
They slip away on the left, between the columns in the foreground. Curtain. End of Act 5, Scene 3. Act 6, Scene 1, The Leave-Taking, of The Bluebird, by Maurice MAETERLINCK, translated by Alexander TEIXEIRA de Mattos. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The stage represents a wall with a small door. It is the break of day. Enter Tyltyl, Mytil, light, bread, water, sugar, fire, and milk. You would never guess where we are.
Well, no, Light, because I don't know.
Don't you recognize that wall and that little door?
It is a red wall and a little green door.
And doesn't that remind you of anything?
It reminds me that time shewed us the door.
How odd people are when they dream. They do not recognize their own hands.
Who is dreaming? Am I?
Perhaps it's myself. Who can tell? However, this wall contains a house which you have seen more than once since you were born.
A house which I have seen more than once since I was born?
Why, yes, sleepyhead. It is the house which we left one evening, just a year ago, to a day.
Just a year ago? Why then...
Come, come. Don't open great eyes like sapphire caves. It's the dear old house of your father and mother.
Tyltyl, going up to the door.
But I think... Yes, really. It seems to me, this little door... I recognize the wooden pin. Are they in there? Are we near Mummy? I want to go in at once. I want to kiss her at once.
One moment. They are sound asleep. You must not wake them with a start. Besides, the door will not open till the hour strikes.
What hour? Is there long to wait?
Alas, no. A few poor minutes.
Aren't you glad to be back? What is it, Light? You are quite pale. You look ill.
It's nothing, child. I feel a little sad because I am leaving you.
Leaving us?
I must. I have nothing more to do here. The year is over. The fairy is coming back to ask you for the bluebird.
But I haven't got the blue bird. The one of the land of memory turned quite black. The one of the future turned quite pink. The nights are dead, and I could not catch the one in the forest. Is it my fault if they change color or die or escape? Will the fairy be angry, and what will she say?
We have done what we could. It seems likely that the bluebird does not exist, or that he changes color when he is caged.
Where is the cage?
Here, master. It was entrusted to my diligent care during our long journey. Today, now that my mission is drawing to an end, I restore it to your hands, untouched and carefully closed as I received it.
Like an orator making a speech.
And now, in the name of all, I crave permission to add a few words.
He has not been called upon to speak.
Order!
The malevolent interruptions of a contemptible enemy, of an envious rival.
An envious rival? What would you be without me? A lump of shapeless and indigestible dough.
Order!
I won't be shouted down by you.
They threaten each other, and are about to come to blows. Light, raising her wand.
Enough!
The insults and the ridiculous pretensions of an element whose notorious misbehaviour and whose scandalous excesses drive the world to despair.
You fat, pasty face!
Bread, raising his voice.
Will not prevent me from doing my duty to the end. I wish, therefore, in the name of all...
Not in mine. I have a tongue of my own.
In the name of all, and with a restrained but simple and deep emotion, to take leave of two distinguished children whose exalted mission ends today, when bidding them farewell with all the grief and all the fondness which a mutual esteem...
What? You are bidding us farewell? Are you leaving us too?
Alas, needs must, since the hour when men's eyes are to be opened has not yet come. I am leaving you, it is true, but the separation will only be apparent. You will no longer hear me speak.
That will be no loss.
Order! Silence!
I shall keep silence when you cease babbling in the kettles, the wells, the brooks, the waterfalls, and the taps.
Light, threatening them with her wand.
That will do, do you hear? You are all very quarrelsome. It is the coming separation that sets your nerves on edge like this.
Bread, with great dignity.
That does not apply to me. I was saying, you will no longer hear me speak, no longer see me in my living form. Your eyes are about to close to the invisible life of the things. But I shall always be there, in the bread pan, on the shelf, on the table, beside the soup, I who am, if I may say so, with water and fire, the most faithful companion, the oldest friend of man.
Well, and what about me?
Come, the minutes are passing. The hour is at hand which will send us back into silence. Be quick and kiss the children.
Fire, rushing forward.
I first!
Violently kissing the children.
Oh, goodbye, Tittle and Mytil. Goodbye, my darlings. Think of me if ever you want anyone to set fire to anything.
Oh, he's burning me.
Oh, he's scorched my nose.
Come, fire, moderate your transports. Remember, you're not in your chimney.
What an idiot!
What a vulgarian!
There, look! I will put my hands in my pockets. But don't forget me. I am the friend of man, in the hearth and in the oven, and I will come sometimes and put out my tongue for you when you are cold or sad. I shall be warm in winter and roast chestnuts for you.
Water, approaching the children.
I shall kiss you without hurting you. Tenderly, my children.
Take care, you'll get wet.
I am loving and gentle. I am kind to human beings.
What about those you drown?
Love the wells. Listen to the brooks. I shall always be there.
She has flooded the whole place.
When you sit down in the evening, beside the springs, there is more than one here in the forest. Try to understand what they are trying to say.
Enough! I can't swim.
I shall no longer be able to tell you as clearly as I do today that I love you, but you will not forget that that is what I am saying to you when you hear my voice. Alas, I can say no more. My tears choke me and prevent me from speaking.
It doesn't sound like it.
Think of me when you see the water bottle. Alas, I have to be silent there, but my thoughts will always be of you. You will find me also in the ewer, the watering can, the cistern, and the tap.
Milk, approaching timidly.
And me, in the milk jug.
What, you too, my dear Milk, so shy and so good? Is everybody going?
Sugar, naturally mawkish and sanctimonious.
If you have a little corner left in your memory, remember perhaps sometimes that my presence was sweet to you. That is all I have to say. Tears are not in harmony with my temperament, and they hurt me terribly when they fall on my feet.
Jesuit.
Sugar plum. Lollipop. Caramel.
But where are Tylette and Tilo gone to? What are they doing?
The cat is heard to utter shrill cries. Mytil alarmed.
It's Tylette crying. He's being hurt.
Enter the cat, running, his hair on end and dishevelled, his clothes torn, holding his handkerchief to his cheek, as though he had a toothache. He utters angry groans and is closely pursued by the dog, who overwhelms him with bites, blows, and kicks. The dog, beating the cat.
There! Have you had enough? Do you want any more? There!
Rushing forward to part them.
Tylo, are you mad?
Well,
I never. Down. Stop that, will you? How dare you? Wait.
They part the dog and the cat by main force.
What is it? What has happened?
The cat, blubbering and wiping his eyes.
It's the dog, Mrs. Light.
He insulted me. He put tin tacks in my food. He pulled my tail. He beat me. And I had done nothing at all.
The dog mimicking him.
Nothing at all.
In an undertone, with a mocking grimace.
Never mind. You've had some, and you're going to have some more.
Mytil pressing the cat in her arms.
My poor Tyltyl, where has he hurt you? Tell me, I shall cry too.
Light, to the dog severely.
Your conduct is all the more unworthy, since you have chosen for this disgraceful exhibition the already most painful moment when we are about to part from these poor children.
The dog suddenly sobered.
To part from these poor children?
Yes, the hour which you know of is at hand. We are going to return to silence. We shall no longer be able to speak to them.
The dog, suddenly uttering real howls of despair, and flinging himself upon the children, whom he loads with violent and tumultuous caresses.
No, I refuse. I shall always talk. You will understand me now, will you not, my little god? Yes. And we shall tell each other everything. And I shall be very good, and I shall learn to read and write and play dominoes, and I shall always be very clean, and I shall never steal anything in the kitchen again. Shall I do a wonderful trick for you? Would you like me to kiss the cat?
Mytil to the cat.
And you, Tyltyl, have you nothing to say to us?
The cat, in an affected and enigmatic tone.
I love you both as much as you deserve.
Now let me, in my turn, children, give you a last kiss.
Tyltyl and Mytil hanging on to Light's dress.
No, Light. Stay here with us. Daddy won't mind. We will tell Mummy how kind you have been.
Alas, I cannot. This door is closed to us, and I must leave you.
Where will you go all alone?
Not very far, my children. Over there, to the land of the silence of things.
No, I won't have you go. We will go with you. I shall tell Mummy.
Do not cry, my dear little ones. I have not a voice like water. I have only my brightness, which man does not understand. But I watch over him to the end of his days. Never forget that I am speaking to you in every spreading moonbeam, in every twinkling star, in every dawn that rises, in every lamp that is lit, in every good and bright thought of your soul.
8 o'clock strikes behind the wall.
Listen, the hour is striking. Goodbye. The door is opening. In with you, in with you.
She pushes the children through the door, which has half opened and which closes again behind them. Bread wipes away a furtive tear. Sugar and water, etc., all in tears, flee precipitously and disappear in the wings to the right and left. The dog howls behind the scenes. The stage remains empty for a moment, and then the scenery representing the wall and the little door opens in the middle and reveals the last scene. End of Act 6, Scene 1. Act 6, Scene 2, The Awakening of the Bluebird, by Maurice MAETERLINCK, translated by Alexander Teixeira de Mattos. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The same setting as Act 1, but the objects, the walls, and the atmosphere all appear incomparably and magically fresher, happier, more smiling. The daylight penetrates gaily through the chinks of the closed shutters. To the right, at the back, Tyltyl and Mytil lie sound asleep in their little beds. The dog, the cat, and the things are in the places which they occupied in Act 1 before the arrival of the fairy. Enter Mummy Tyl, in a cheerfully scolding voice.
Up! Come, get up, you little lazy bones. Aren't you ashamed of yourselves? It has struck 8, and the sun is high above the trees. Lord, how they sleep, how they sleep.
She leans over and kisses the children.
They are quite rosy. Tyltyl smells of lavender, and Mytil of lilies of the valley.
Kissing them again.
What sweet things children are. Still, they can't go on sleeping till midday. I mustn't let them grow up idle. And besides, I have heard it's not very healthy.
Gently shaking Tyltyl.
Wake up, Tyltyl.
Tyltyl waking up.
What? Light? Where is she? No, no, don't go away.
Light? Why, of course it's light. Has been for ever so long. It's as bright as noonday, though the shutters are closed. Wait a bit till I open them.
She pushes back the shutters, and the dazzling daylight invades the room.
There, see? What's the matter with you? You look quite blinded.
Tyltyl rubbing his eyes.
Mummy, Mummy, it's you!
Why, of course it is. Who did you think it was?
It's you! Yes, yes, it's you!
Yes, yes, it's I. I haven't changed my face since last night. Why do you stare at me in that wonder-struck way? Is my nose turned upside down by any chance?
Oh, how nice it is to see you again. It's so long ago. I must kiss you at once. Again, again, again. And how comfortable my bed is. I am back at home.
What's the matter? Why don't you wake up? Don't tell me you're ill. Let me see. Show me your tongue. Come, get up and dress.
Hello, I've got my shirt on.
Of course you have. Put on your breeches and your little jacket. There they are on the chair.
Is that what I did on the journey?
What journey?
Why, last year.
Last year?
Why, yes. At Christmas when I went away.
When you went away? You haven't left the room. I put you to bed last night, and here you are this morning. Have you dreamt all that?
But you don't understand. It was last year when I went away with Mytil, the fairy, Light. How nice Light is. Bread, sugar, water, fire. They did nothing but quarrel. You're not angry with me? Did you feel very sad? And what did Daddy say? I could not refuse. I left a note to explain.
What are you talking about? For sure, either you're ill, or else you're still asleep.
She gives him a friendly shake.
There, wake up. There, is that better?
But, Mummy, I assure you, it's you that's still asleep.
What? Still asleep, am I? Why, I've been up since 6 o'clock. I finished all the cleaning and lit the fire.
But ask Mytil if it's not true. Oh, we have had such adventures.
Why, Mytil? What do you mean?
She was with me. We saw Granddad and Granny.
Mummy Till more and more bewildered.
Granddad and Granny?
Yes, in the land of memory. It was on our way. They are dead, but they are quite well. Granny made us a lovely plum tart, and then the little brothers, Robert, Jean and his top, and Madeline, and Pierrette, and Pauline, and Riquette, too.
Riquette still goes about on all fours.
And Pauline still has a pimple on her nose.
Have you found the key of the cupboard where Daddy hides his brandy bottle?
Does Daddy hide a brandy bottle?
Certainly. One has to hide everything when one has little meddlesome good-for-nothings like you. But come out with it. Confess that you took it. I would rather it was that. I shan't tell Daddy. I shan't beat you.
But, Mummy, I don't know where it is.
Just walk in front of me so that I may see if you can walk straight.
Tyltyl does so.
No, it's not that. Dear heaven, what's the matter with them? I shall lose them too, as I lost the others.
Suddenly mad with alarm, she calls out,
Daddy! Till! Come quick! The children are ill!
Enter Daddy Till, very calmly, with an axe in his hand.
What is it?
Tyltyl and Mytil running up gaily to kiss their father.
Hello, Daddy.
It's Daddy.
Good morning, Daddy.
Have you had plenty of work this year?
Well, what's the matter? They don't look ill. They look very well.
Mummy Till weeping.
You can't trust their looks. It will be as with the others. They looked quite well also to the end, and then God took them. I don't know what's the matter with them. I put them to bed quite quietly last night, and this morning, when they woke up, everything was wrong. They don't know what they're saying. They talk about a journey. They have seen Light and Granddad and Granny who are dead, but who are quite well.
But Granddad still has his wooden leg.
And Granny her rheumatics?
Do you hear? Run and fetch the doctor.
Why, no. They're not dead yet. Come, let us look into this.
A knock at the front door.
Come in.
Enter neighbor Berlingot, a little old woman resembling the fairy in Act 1 and leaning on a stick.
Good morning, and Merry Christmas to you all.
It's the fairy Berilyuna.
I have come to ask for a bit of fire for my Christmas stew. It is very chilly this morning. Good morning, children. How are you?
Fairy Berilyuna, I could not find the blue bird.
What is he saying?
Don't ask me, Madame Berlingot. They don't know what they're saying. They have been like that since they woke up. They must have eaten something that wasn't good.
Why, Tyltyl, don't you remember Goody Berlingot, your neighbor, Berlingot?
Why, yes, ma'am. You are the fairy Berilyuna. You're not angry with us?
What? Goodness gracious me!
Berilyuna.
Berlingot. You mean Berlingot.
Berilyuna or Berlingot, as you please, ma'am. But Mytil knows.
That's the worst of it. That Mytil also.
Pooh, pooh. They will soon go. I will give them a smack or two.
Don't. It's not worthwhile. I know all about it. It's only a little fit of dreaming. They must have slept in the moonbeams. My little girl, who is very ill, is often like that.
By the way, how's your little girl?
Only so. She can't get up. The doctor says that it's her nerves. I know what would cure her for all of that. She was asking me for it only this morning, for her Christmas box. It's a notion she has.
Yes, I know. It's Tyltyl's bird. Well, Tyltyl, aren't you going to give it at last to that poor little thing?
What, Mummy?
Your bird. It's no use to you. You don't even look at it now. And she has been dying to have it for ever so long.
Hello, that's true, my bird. Where is he? Oh, there's the cage. Mytil, do you see the cage? It's the one which Bread carried. Yes, it's the same one, but there's only one bird in it. Has he eaten the other, I wonder? Hello? Why, he's blue. But it's my turtle dove. But he's much bluer than when I went away. Why, that's the bluebird we were looking for. We went so far, and he was here all the time. Oh, but it's wonderful. Mytil, do you see the bird? What would Light say? I will take down the cage.
He climbs on a chair and takes down the cage and carries it to the neighbor.
There, Madame Berlingot, there you are. He's not quite blue yet, but that will come, you shall see. Take him off quick to your little girl.
Really? Do you mean it? Do you give it me like that straight away and for nothing? Lord, how happy she will be.
Kissing Tyltyl.
I must give you a kiss. I fly.
Yes, be quick. Some of them change their color.
I will come back to tell you what she says.
She goes out. Tyltyl, after taking a long look around him.
Daddy, Mummy, what have you done to the house? It's just as it was, but it's much prettier.
How do you mean it's prettier?
Why, yes, everything has been painted and made to look new. Everything is clean and polished. It was not like that last year.
Last year?
Tyltyl going to the window.
And look at the forest. How big and fine it is. One would think it was new. How happy I feel here.
Going to the bread pan and opening it.
Where's Bread? I say the loaves are very quiet. And then here's Tilo. Hello, Tilo. Tilo. Ah, you had a fine fight. Do you remember in the forest?
And Tylette, he knows me, but he has stopped talking.
Mr. Bread.
Feeling his forehead.
Hello, the diamond's gone. Who's taken my little green hat? Never mind, I don't want it any more. Ah, Fire, he's a good one. He crackles and laughs to make Water angry.
Running to the tap.
And Water? Good morning, Water. What does she say? She still talks, but I don't understand her as well as I did.
I don't see sugar.
Lord, how happy I am. Happy, happy, happy.
So am I.
What are you spinning round for like that?
Don't mind them, and don't distress yourself. They're playing at being happy.
I liked Light best of all. Where's her lamp? Can we light it?
Looking round him again.
Goodness me, how lovely it all is, and how glad I feel.
Why?
I don't know, Mummy.
A knock at the front door.
Come in, come in.
Enter the neighbor, holding by the hand a little girl of a fair and wonderful beauty, who carries Tyltyl's dove pressed in her arms.
Do you see a miracle?
Impossible. Can she walk?
Can she walk? She can run. She can dance. She can fly. When she saw the bird, she jumped just like that, with one bound to the window, to see by the light if it is really Tyltyl's dove, and then whoosh, out onto the street like an angel. It was as much as I could do to keep pace with her.
Tyltyl going up to her, wonderstruck.
Oh, how like Light she is.
She's much smaller.
Yes, indeed, but she will grow bigger.
What are you saying? Haven't they gotten over it yet?
They are better. They're mending. It will be all right when they have had their breakfasts.
The neighbor, pushing the little girl into Tyltyl's arms.
Come along, child. Come, and thank Tyltyl.
Tyltyl, suddenly frightened, takes a step back.
Well, Tyltyl, what's the matter? Are you afraid of the little girl? Come, give her a kiss, a good big kiss. No, a better one than that. You're not so shy as a rule. Another one. But what's the matter with you? You look as if you were going to cry.
Tyltyl, after kissing the little girl, rather awkwardly, stands before her for a moment, and the two children look at each other without speaking. Then Tyltyl strokes the dove's head.
Is he blue enough?
Yes, I am so pleased with him.
I have seen bluer ones, but those which are quite blue, you know, do what you will, you can't catch them.
That doesn't matter. He's lovely.
Has he had anything to eat?
Not yet. What does he eat?
Anything. Corn, bread, Indian corn, grasshoppers.
How does he eat, say?
With his beak. You'll see. I will show you.
He moves in order to take the bird from the little girl's hands. She resists instinctively, and, taking advantage of the hesitation of their movements, the dove escapes and flies away. The little girl, with a cry of despair.
Mother, he is gone.
She bursts into sobs.
Never mind, don't cry. I will catch him again.
Stepping to the front of the stage and addressing the audience.
If any of you should find him, would you be so very kind as to give him back to us? We need him for our happiness later on.
Curtain. End of Act 6, Scene 2, and end of The Bluebird by Maurice MAETERLINCK, translated by Alexander Teixeira de Mattos.